All right, we're live, we're here. It's time for one of the most amazing things in the history of all things that are amazing. The Twin Galaxies Pac-Man KillScreen Challenge Exhibition. I am here. We have wonderful, amazing, super talented esports athletes sitting here with us, and we'll start from my right with Tim Balderramos. Did I pronounce that last name correctly? Perfect. Living legend himself. Donald or Don Hays. Don Hays is the preferred nomenclature. Your reputation precedes you, sir. And speaking of reputations,
an anger problem. That's Donald. He's got an anger problem. Watch out.
We've got Dwayne Richard. He's here, imported fresh from Canada. We literally imported him. I said it's Richards, right? Richard.
No, it's Richard.
Richard.
No S. Yeah.
No S. See, I got it right the first time.
There you go.
And then we went on a quest to find the rarest form of human, and that is Ambner Ashman.
Hey,
There he is.
Ambner.
Rarely seen on camera, let alone live. He's made it. So right here is an incredible amount of talent as it relates to video games in general, and you start narrowing the scope and start talking about Pac-Man, it gets even more amazing. Let's take a look at the chat and just say hello to some people. We've got Phil 80 that says Balderramos for the win.
Ah, I told you. The fix is in. Balderramos for the win.
Yep, Ambner Ashman's in the house. I think Paul Dean just is at the door, so can someone go grab the door?
Don't let him in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
The only one missing is the great David Race. Well, he was invited to come and commentate, but he said he had other commitments.
Actually, we invited Billy Mitchell, we invited Walter, we invited Chris Iyer, we invited Rick Fothergill, we invited Bill Bastable. But this is actually how it worked out that these are the players that were able to make it in a shorter time that we had to get this thing organized.
Yes. No. Okay. So let's talk about this for example, because as we know, there are. Oh, look, Paul Dean, come on in, Paul Dean. Just come wave to the camera. Everybody, Paul Dean's fine. There's the camera.
Walk by Jack Gale is here. He's come out of retirement. The great Jack Gale. He was the one with the skinny physique. Everybody seen Paul Dean shape.
So we were going to. I'm glad you guys came, because once they start playing, we can sit on the couch and over there and watch, and we'll commentate and on the action. So feel free to make yourself comfortable next to Don Hodges back there. And we will get this going, because there's a lot of information that we need to discuss before this gets going. I want the audience, because we're getting a lot of new viewers, new gamers who aren't familiar with all of your accomplishments. And I want them to know who you guys are and what we're trying to do here. And I think the first thing to do is to start with, how did this concept and event come to be? So I will give Dwayne the mic to talk a little bit about where this whole idea for this broadcast came from and how it came to be here. Go for it.
Actually, we knew we could get by the kill screen on the newer version long time ago, but just nobody did anything with it. And when Bill was in Chicago a couple months ago, he saw Witani, and he showed people about the extra key and the dots there that there was a few of us that knew about that a long time ago. The thing that I was surprised he didn't show Witani, which he could have, I would have chosen to show them, was how to get by the kill screen, because no one has ever seen anybody get by the kill screen without the rack advance. And so I sent a video out to Jace and Donald and a few other Pac-Man players a long time ago, because we knew we could do it. I showed them what it looks like when you do it. And then so we came up with the idea to orchestrate this because of the Pixels movie coming out, and we thought it'd be a great time to promote Pac-Man and maybe give people their own ambition to try and get to the split screen and see what it's like as something they do for an achievement on their bucket list.
I'll add to that. So when Dwayne approached Twin Galaxies with this idea of, hey, why don't we do a broadcast that sort of celebrates, Pac-Man, since you have the movie kind of bringing Pac-Man up. I thought, wow, that's a really fun idea. How do we go about doing it? Because, it's in terms of rule sets of how do you approach, going past the kill screen. How do you treat that particular achievement, in the context of other already established rule sets that you play Pac-Man against? It's really some open territory there, and so I thought it would be a great idea to gather everybody and try to figure that out, which we did. You guys got here yesterday, right? We met and started talking about what might the rules be, how do we want to play, because up until that moment, we hadn't decided. We didn't even know. We just knew that we wanted to show this process live of getting past the kill screen in the game, right? So, okay, so that's sort of how it came to be, and I want to thank Dwayne and everybody else for coming here, but for Dwayne to really push and help organize making this happen, because it was through him that everybody else is here. Dwayne made all those calls, right? So with that being said, let's take a second to just meet everybody and let them talk a little bit about their history, what they've done, what are they excited about here, why they're here, and really I ask you to teach these gamers who don't know, right, as opposed to talking to the Pac-Man community who already knows.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. My name's Tim Balderramos. I first came on scene in 1983 when I got a world record on Pac-Man, and me and Pac-Man have been kind of on again, off again ever since. So when I first heard about the concept of the perfect game in the early 2000s, I decided to go after that, and I managed to do that both on MAME, starting in 2002, and then in 2004 I got a perfect on the arcade machine, and then I thought I was done. But then 2007, a big event in New York City for Xbox, the Pac-Man World Championships. This guy finished third, by the way, where I finished fifth. That was an awesome event, and I thought that was truly once in a lifetime. And I had a chance to bring my wife and daughter. And before I say anything else, I just got to tell you, Candace and Dia, my stepson Jared, you guys have been great putting up with me, going after my Pac-Man endeavors. And I just want to say thanks for putting up with me, supporting me, and believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. You guys have been awesome. But again, back to today.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's to all the, our passion to play video games it's hard for the mass audience to appreciate the talent, the drive, the interest that goes in there, and there's a lot of stuff in society that tries to go against that. And so it's great to hear that you have a family that supported your passion and your endeavors, because not everybody gets that, and that's part of what we're trying to help people understand, is A, how talented you guys are, and B, everybody should support this activity, right?
And it's awesome. Again, I thought 2007 was it for me, and I kind of retired. Basically, I did retire. But then I wrote my book, and I wrote my book, and then I got pulled back in because again, here I am, a second once in a lifetime, getting a chance to play alongside not one, not two, but three living legends in the classic game. I'm just beside myself. And actually, I shouldn't even be here because Dwayne's friend Greg, is it Cindy? Yeah, he should actually be sitting here right now instead of me. But he had, unfortunately, a scheduling conflict came up and he couldn't make it. So I got to shout out to him. But again, it's just an honor. I'm just truly blessed, and I'm honored to be here tonight.
All right, that is Tim Balderramos.
Well, this Tim. We've never met before today, so it's a pleasure to meet you. I just want to say that first. My name's Don Hays. Just from New Hampshire. I've been in the classic gaming community since about 2000, when I live up near Fun Spot in New Hampshire, and I missed the first fun spot by a week, by about a week, because the very first one they had, 1999, I didn't know about it. I lived near there, and I didn't know it was going to happen. And they had the sign up the week after. I happened to go up there on a whim, saw the sign. I said, hey, I'm going to get into this. So in 2000, they had another tournament. I got into it, and it's been a fun ride ever since. My main accomplishments from back then were setting the centipede record back in November of 2000. So that's what I was most known for. And I've also set other records on many other games since then.
Like
played
what?
back in the 80s, but not to the level of world records that I knew about, because I didn't know about Twin Galaxies back in the 80s.
What for the people who don't know, like some of those games that you set records on, what would, like, name a few of them, just so they get a sense of the broad breadth of your gamer skill.
Yep. Some of the other games, I think the next one I set was Domino Man. Then there was Dig Dug. I had the Tron world record for a while. Frogger, Millipede, Super Zaxxon, Super Cobra, even the Space Invaders record for a while. And at some point I said, I knew about Pac-Man, I knew about the perfect score, and I said, I'll give that a try. That's something else. I've accomplished a lot. Let me give that a try and see what it is. Because that was one of the 5, what people would always say is these are the 5 top accomplishments. Would be a perfect Pac-Man, a perfect Miss Pac-Man game, or 1,000,000 points on Miss Pac-Man, 1,000,000 points on Robotron, 1,000,000 points on Joust, and the 5th one, I'm not even thinking now. There's a 5th one that was, people would say, these are the things that if you want to accomplish, that's what you want to accomplish. Those were the top 5. So I had done basically none of them, but I ended up doing the Joust one. I got 1,000,000 points on Joust on the tournament settings, and I did the Pac-Man, the perfect Pac-Man. So that's kind of how I got into it. As far as this event goes, I know Dwayne had contacted me probably about a year ago, and we knew about the extra dots, and he was toying around with the idea of setting up the contest, or the exhibition here to show how to get through the split screen. And just about a month ago, it actually all came together and worked out that I could actually make it here.
Well, it's great to have you. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight, and I'll probably repeat this several times throughout the day, because we have younger gamers watching who don't understand what it takes to hold the kind of records that you just rattled off. Okay, so let me be clear to the newer audience. The records that these guys hold and have held are against machines that were solely designed to take their money and make them not play. It is an entirely different game design philosophy when you're building a machine its sole purpose is to just take someone's money away and not necessarily try to make them feel good. A lot of you new gamers grew up with games that had pause buttons, easy mode, tutorials, and were designed to help you feel a sense of accomplishment and help you get to the end. So you have to understand that there is an enormous amount of differential between what it takes to figure out how to last at Centipede as long as this man has, versus getting to the end of the game God of War. Okay? So it's what you're getting a chance to actually witness are people who have the kind of video game skills that can only be developed when the games that you're playing are so demanding that you have to rise to the occasion. This is one of my big complaints about the generation that's gotten all these additional features, is that there's so much potential for these younger game players to become amazing, but they're only going to be as good as the game that they play demands. And so it just limits, and people aren't making games where it's just brutal, right? So it's not even their fault, right? That they can't get to a certain level. But when you're sitting there, marathoning a game for 30 hours, that it goes beyond just your gaming skill. Now you're talking about human endurance. You're talking about the ability to pay attention, all these sorts of things. So and a lot of this that these guys did, they did before the internet was there to share information. They had to figure it out completely on their own. That's it. something weird would happen in the machine, and they just hopefully they saw it, right? Hopefully they can remember what they did to even get there, or it's another 300 or 1,000 games to figure out what that was all about. So, you know, this is not a I'm not trying to say that newer gamers don't have skills. What I'm hoping that newer gamers get from seeing you guys play is really understanding how far you can take your skill if the game is challenging enough for you, and that the gamers out there should demand video games to be as challenging as possible for them. It's more fun. So thank you, Don, and we'll move over to Dwayne.
I just want to, like Tim, I want to say hello to my wife, Cheryl,
Yes.
and my 2 stepkids, Michaela and Matthew. I don't know if they're watching right now. I hope they are. I know it's a different time zone. You know, it's 3 hours ahead back east. So, you know, but they've supported me too, like Tim's family does, and that's just an awesome feeling. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to thank Don for coming out again. All the problems you had at work and stuff like that, he almost didn't make it. My name is Dwayne Richard. I've been playing games for a long time.
When did you first start playing?
I started playing when I was 12. And Pac-Man was the first games that I played. Like, I think many of us started off reading the books, looking in the magazines, where when you're smaller or younger, you don't necessarily think in terms of patterns or how to solve a game, or even that the thing about the split screen. But I read a book, and we all learned how to follow patterns. And I seen the kill screen or the split screen when I was 12 after I forgot his name, the blackjack card counter. Ken Houston. He had a book. That book was amazing. Like, there were a lot of these Pac-Man books that came out. Not all the patterns were the best or whatever like that, but they gave you an understanding about how to play the game. And so I've been playing Pac-Man for a long time, and I went to the World Championships. I finished third, but I should have, well, it's been water under the bridge, but I should have won that, but I hurt my hand. Yeah, we've known all about this stuff. Like, I know all the best Pac-Man players, Miss Pac-Man player, and Abner, the junior Pac-Man player, and Rick. And there's all this stuff that we know that we don't necessarily share with everybody because, you know, no one really cares. You know, we do because we're enthusiastic about it. And so we've always known that the problem with the split screen, and talking with Don Hodges and some other people that are technically inclined about the code, there's not enough dots. And so there is no way you could ever get by the split screen on the original version of Pac-Man, and people have claimed that. And part of what this event is to show what happens when you actually can legitimately clear the split screen according to where the code is made by eating enough dots. But also at the same time, it shows that anybody who claimed in the 80s that they did get by the split screen, they're liars. The only way you could get by the split screen in the 80s is Rack Advance, and that's, you know, people are understand it. More people are aware of that now that they have their own games and have manuals and stuff like that. But part of this is just to show that Pac-Man's a dynamic game, and like, people think, you know, there's not an awful lot there, or there's no reason to play it anymore, but you got to have imagination to give yourself reasons to play. And so this is just another event, you know, that we can share and encourage other people to improve their skills and just give Pac-Man another chance. It's a fun game, and then if they get good at it, move on to Miss Pac-Man, or they're really good, they can try and challenge Junior and give Abner a reason to come out and show everybody what he does. But anyways, yeah, no. So I've been playing for a long time. I've won a lot of world championships. I've had a lot of world records. I've won different cash prizes and different things like that. But for me, it's all about having my friends come out and hang out and play. And you know, to me, that's the special thing. But we couldn't invite everybody. We had a limited budget, and so there were people that were down on the list. And, you know, it doesn't mean I don't respect you. It's just the way it worked out. Like, I hadn't seen Abner for a long time, and Tim, he's always been a good friend in that way, and I admire him. And for Donald, I always promise Donald if I do anything, he'll get an invite, because people think Donald and I have a private joke from Austin Powers. Who does number 2 work for? Because Donald's only beat me once, I think. You know, he did beat me once, so, and he deserved it. So, but he always pushes me. He always pushes me. Donald is a tremendous player. Like, he reminds me a lot of my friend Jeff Peters. Like, great players that really helped me become a better player. I couldn't be the player that I am if it wasn't for people like Jeff and people like Donald. That just, they are relentless, and they have skills, and they make you a better player because you have to man up and match them. And these guys are creative. And my friend Abner, like, He is too black, too strong. The Jesse Owens of video games, like he is untouchable. When he plays something, he's so good at it, and I'm glad he could come out and play with us.
So speaking of which, yes, Ambner Ashman. Now, I've been watching the chat, and someone said that if Ambner Ashman played Miss Pac-Man live, it would break Twitch, which is where we're broadcasting through. So you might have something interesting to tell people, but before we do that, please let people know, like the newer gamers know who you are, and you know what you've done and what you find exciting and what you hope to do.
My name is Ambner Ashman. Live in Queens, New York. Been playing, it's like typical of most of these guys here. I've been playing video games from I was maybe 12 years old, 13 years old. I know this is a Pac-Man event. I know that, but I figure I'll change it up a little bit.
What? You're gonna change it up?
No, I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna change the whole.
What's gonna happen?
I'm not gonna change the whole thing.
Miss Pac-Man, Ambner plays Miss Pac-Man.
It's a Pac-Man event, but maybe.
You gotta hold the mic. Oh, hold it up higher because you're blocking the transmission.
Okay, it's a Pac-Man event, but I figure maybe a couple of people might want to see a little Miss Pac-Man action.
Oh! So wait, all right, we're gonna have Ambner Ashman playing Miss Pac-Man live. Is that what's gonna happen?
I will play it live, and I'll do my best to surprise some people. All right?
Oh, there's gonna be some surprises. So you're gonna see championship Miss Pac-Man play.
Yes.
So you're tuning in and you're getting championship Pac-Man play and championship Miss Pac-Man play simultaneously.
Excellent.
I mean, what? So, did you want to say what up to anybody at home or anything like that?
Nah.
Yeah, I see.
I like to keep it.
If Darren Harris,
Oh, true.
if Darren Harris is here, fix his monitor.
For one second, Darren, I'm giving you all the props in the world. All right, one person I gotta big up is Darren Harris. Without him, my games, my entire pack, whatever, would not exist. So Darren, 100% respect to you.
That's an exclusive club right there. So let me touch base back with the audience again and say, look, we've introduced the people who are going to play. We've touched a little bit. We talked about how this event came to be. Now I want to talk just a little bit about what exactly, because Dwayne touched on it a little bit, but I want to really spell it out for the audience what is going on in terms of the broadcast and the intention here. Okay, so there is a original arcade version of Pac-Man made in the 1980s. And if you play that game all the way up to level 256, the game has an error that essentially makes the game unplayable past that point. Now, there have been all kinds of stories over the years about people getting past that point somehow. Somehow they got past the point. Of course, no one ever seen it, and that has been the mysterious mystique about Pac-Man in level 256. Well, 20 years later, after the release of Pac-Man, they released another version of Pac-Man in the arcade, which was combined. It was actually a secret mode inside of a machine that had Miss Pac-Man and Galaga in it. And so it's this 20th anniversary edition. And people started to discover subtle nuances between that Pac-Man and the Pac-Man that was in the 1980s. However, it was quite a while before it was sort of put together that maybe there might be a possibility that going past the 256 screen might be doable. There's also an anniversary edition released after that, called the 25th anniversary edition. Has the same nuances as the 20th anniversary edition. So, the Pac-Man masters that exist in the world today of course, dig into these machines and eventually figure out, and I want Don to talk a little bit about how this came about. So let my story dovetail into Don talking about a discovery.
Okay, I guess what happened is about for people,
10 years ago?
yeah, for about 10 years ago, people that know me know I also play table tennis. I go to the U.S. Open every year. I've been to 27 straight. That year, back in, I think it was 2004, happened to be in Fort Lauderdale, which is where Billy Mitchell lives. So I was heading down for the tournament, and I called up Billy and said, hey, because I'd met him at Fun Spot a couple of times, and says, hey, I'm going to be down. I'd like to come see your restaurant, hang out for a little bit. So he actually has 2 restaurants down there, and we went to the second one that he has, and he has the Miss Pac-Man Galaga machine. So he also called up Chris Era, who came by. I had met him at Fun Spot a couple times as well, and we were just fooling around on Pac-Man for a little bit. We got to the, we entered the joystick code to get to Pac-Man. We played, and we were going through it. And, we were just going through, showing each other, he showed me some grouping things that I didn't know about. We were going through 9th key patterns. He showed me a pattern on the 9th key where they're in the tunnels for like 30 seconds, tunnel terror. And we get to the split screen, we notice, we're looking for the dots, and we're like, wait a minute, there's supposed to be a dot there. And it's not there. It moved. And we discovered back then that there was a 10th dot on the split screen. And of course, the other thing we notice on this machine is you can continue. You lose all your men, you get to put another quarter in and just continue the game, and it picks up where you left off. So we knew back then, with the continues and with this extra dot, hey, there's an extra key you can get, and if you continue enough times, you'll be able to get through the split screen.
So you saw the possibility at that 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
And then from that 10-year point, did you guys really do anything with that information?
At that point in time, no, we just kind of sat on it. In fact, I remember Billy saying, let's keep this quiet for now. Let's, because Billy's number one is a showman.
Right.
He wants to, show things to the world that the people have never seen. And it was kind of like, well, we have this information, we don't quite know what to do with it yet. So I guess
it was just sat for 10 years.
10 years later, now we're figuring out what to do with this information.
Well, the funny thing is too, because the funny thing was, I saw Donald at the Fun Spot that year, and he told me he was down visiting Chris and Bill, and he goes, we learned something new, and within 2 guesses, I guessed what it was. Because the thing is, we know so much about the game and how we think and how we approach solving these things that we knew about this stuff, and that was the thing, like I said, so when Bill saw Uwatani, I thought, why did you show him the key? That's nothing. He could have showed Uwatani what it looked like to get by the split screen. And for whatever reason, Bill decided not to do that. And so I thought, well, fuck you. We'll show everybody, and we'll set this event up. And because we all knew about this. We all knew it was dot count. And so, there's no magic or whatever like that. But it just... we just wanted to show the world what it looks like. It's it's just one of those things where, once it's common knowledge, you can do it yourself. But we wanted to show everybody that we knew this and wanted to share this with everybody and give people a reason to play Pac-Man. So so I guess it goes without saying, there are 10 dots on the new version that on the first version there's only 9. So that means today we're going to be going to set a new perfect world record on this vision in on a different platform. We can beat the world record by 5,060 points, but at the same time, we're also going to be trying to, we're going to get past the split screen, and we're going to be playing for marathon scores. There's 7 million on Xbox that has been done, so there's good players that can play for a long time. Tim did 5 million when we were playing Xbox. We were qualifying for the World Pac-Man, and he killed his game off. We were talking on the phone back and forth before we qualified, and just talking about all this stuff happened. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to push a score. Anything between board 1 to 255 we're going to count as a death, and we're going to have an extended marathon score of 3+1 and try and see if we can match Jeffrey Yee's 9 million score and Les Martin's 12 million score. Jeffrey's is way easy because he continued, so he got to get the extra blue time points, where less, like he had to get through 5 kill screens to get that 12 million score. So he had to use rock advance, even though he claims he didn't. But we all know, like, it is what it is. So, but other than that, like, that's an incredible achievement. So we're giving props to that, these old stories, and now I'll give people a challenge to try and see if they can beat these scores, because now the score will be continuous on the machine. It's not adding it up from a separate game or whatever. It's one continuous game, one continuous score.
Yeah, so let me explain that. Previously, with an original 1980s Pac-Man, if you were going to, quote, marathon, you would play all the way up to the kill screen, and then your game would end, but then because it had to, and then you would capture that score and then continue on. Now, what's interesting about that is, because you're continuing back from the beginning, the difficulty of the game actually shifts back to the beginning again. So you get a cumulative score, and that's still an achievement to go through and marathon that way. What Dwayne is talking about is, now with this version of Pac-Man, the 20th or the 25th anniversary edition, you're able now, using the technique that the masters have figured out in the history of time, to continue on without starting the game over. So that will have an impact on the behavior of the screens afterward, in terms of how long the ghost monsters maybe stay blue and things of that nature. So there's an opportunity now to marathon this game under this category, under this rule set. And that's a new thing. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, now you guys can verify this, because you guys are the Pac-Man masters. No one has really publicly presented moving past the kill screen like this before, in some sort of stream. Like this knowledge that you and Billy dig up, and then Dwayne eventually says, hey, well, let's start bringing it to the world. No one's really just sat there and just presented it. Hey, this is how you do it. This is the version that you use. Here's how you do it. Let's proceed with that. So that's what we're doing here. And it's a unique experience, and it will be done from front to back. It's not going to be, you'll have the whole video archive of the entire thing take place. And as an adjunct to that, Dwayne was talking about beating the high score world record for a perfect Pac-Man. And what he's talking about there is, the original Pac-Man, because it crashes at level 256, there's a maximum number of points you can achieve based on how many lives that you have. So, and then that's it. So the perfect Pac-Man is a very specific score achieved under a very specific rule set, and that's it. Well, on these anniversary editions, because of the different pixels at the end, you're actually able to eat a few more dots at the end and get a higher score at the final piece. So this record, the score, can actually be beat because you're able to actually eat a few more pellets. Of course, you still have to perform perfectly to do it. So it's a very unique opportunity. And Dwayne, you mentioned that some of you guys are going to go for that here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have fun with this tonight. I think since it's called the Kill Screen Challenge, we'll the three of us will definitely make sure we get to the kill screen. So we're going to see a couple different flavors here. A potential perfect run where it's going to be a little bit higher than the original perfect score, and then maybe take it from there. And then the other thing is to get see if we can get past the kill screen, and then see how much further we can take it from there. And who knows where that'll ultimately wind up. So what we'll do is, once we get to the kill screen, we will keep a track of how many men we have left, and those will get carried. If we get past the split screen, we'll carry those over to the next set of 256 screens. Now, if it gets to a point where we have to continue to get to the first kill screen, then what will happen there is that you'll be able to get to the kill screen, and if you get past that, you'll be allowed to continue into marathon mode, but you'll only have one life left, and once you lose that one life, your game is over. But obviously, if you don't have to continue to get to the first kill screen, whatever you have in reserve will get carried over to the next set of boards.
Now, you guys, I'm going to ask Abner a question in a second, but you guys had a chance to look at the machines, verify the hardware that's in there, verify all the settings, and as Pac-Man professionals, are you satisfied with what you're going to be playing on as legitimate platforms to accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish. Yes, no, yes?
Yeah, as long as Donald Hayes doesn't win. The fix is on, Tim Balderramos is going to win. The fix is on, Tim Balderramos is going to win.
Now, Abner is going to be playing some Miss Pac-Man, so I just wanted to ask him, do you have any targets that you want to shoot for this particular venture on Miss Pac-Man?
No particular targets, but I just wanted people to see a live and hopefully a live and a complete game. So I think a lot of people never really seen it before, so I'm just trying to give them an opportunity to see it.
Take them through it. Rick Fox is a huge Miss Pac-Man player and fan, and so I'm trying to get him to stop by while you guys are doing this so he can maybe learn a little from the master.
Don't worry, he will learn.
Before we send these guys off into Pac-Land, does the audience have any questions that they want to ask anybody here so that we can directly address any questions, concerns, make sure all the information about what we're doing is out there and very clear? So there's like a 10 or 15 second delay between what we say and what their reaction will be, so let's just wait for a second to see.
I just want to give a quick shout out.
Sure.
I just want to give a quick shout out to my Canadian Union pals, Rick Fothergill, Greg Zgunyak, and Neil Chapman, and the great Randy Tufts, who's no longer with us. Those guys are legends in the Pac-Man world in Canada, and I play for them. Cheers.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to say anything? Any other shout outs?
I see John Stidley commented. Tim, John Stidley here. Thanks, bud. And I got to tell you, John, I know you're going after your perfect score. Thanks for sending me good wishes. I send them right back to you, buddy, because as I've said, you're going to get there. It's not a question of if, but of when.
Yeah, John, by the way, you should come here one time for an attempt, and we can show everybody while you're doing it. That'd be like a really cool thing to show John Stidley's attempt at a perfect Pac-Man.
Actually, no. See, this is the funny thing. I was the only one who actually say his name right. His name is Studley. I know, seriously, his name is Studley. Him and who's the I can't think of miscommander. Tony, yeah. I was giving, because I always give everybody a hard time. So when I was interviewing one time, I was joking with him and Tony. And because when we go up to a guy here, we call him Studley, and you're sort of insulting him or whatever. Not necessarily insulting, but he's a stud or whatever, with some kind of prowess or whatever. So, because everyone was calling him Studley, I said, isn't your name Studley? And he goes, how did you know? That's how we say it here. Everyone calls me Studley, but my name is Studley. But because it has a different connotation if your name is John Studley, that's a porn name.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say, and I just want to speak a little on Twin Galaxies' behalf. Twin Galaxies is focused on recognizing player achievements across all of the different platforms and all of the different video games. Since we've started what we're referring to as the new era, Twin Galaxies has not had a good opportunity to focus on the classic arcade gaming scene and to do something. And so, part of the motivation is for Twin Galaxies to, put a focus on the classic scene and do more stuff like that, because we have a lot of newer games streaming and all this other stuff that's moving through. It's very important. What you're not seeing in our broadcast is you're not seeing any advertisements. You're not seeing us trying to sell anything. This is 100% about the video game community, the enthusiasts, the culture itself. It's about helping the mainstream recognize the validity of what we do and the way that we live our lives, the choices that we make, the reason we prioritize video game playing ahead of other things are just as valid as anything else that anybody else is doing. And so we appreciate people coming to this broadcast to watch and to see these great masters do what they do. And we want to encourage as many people as possible to participate on twingalaxies.com, where you can sign up and submit your video game performances from mobile phone all the way, to Nintendo, classic Nintendo, to arcade, to PlayStation 4, and be part of the community and be recognized for what you do. you're going to see Twin Galaxies continually trying to fight to escalate the amount of attention and for video game enthusiasts for all genres and all platforms. And again, we really appreciate you guys coming down to play, and we appreciate everybody who's watching. So hopefully we'll all have a good time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thanks. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so I think we're about to get into it. You guys ready for this? You need some waters? Okay, does anybody need waters, anything to have by the machines? Or?
I'll probably definitely have to grab something here.
Okay, so they're good. No, just yell out. We can have someone bring stuff to you. So they're going to make their way to the custom game room that we have created for our players. And while they're getting ready, I will answer any questions that are taking place in chat. I'm going to move, at some point, we're going to move over to the commentating area where we've got Paul Dean, Don Hodges to watch with me and anybody else who shows up here to watch, and we'll talk about what we're seeing. We have a very unique layout for our broadcast, and it has taken, and this is just as an aside, it has taken an incredible amount of technology to create the layout that you're about to see, because we wanted people to be able to see all 4 games simultaneously and everybody's faces while they're doing it and the commentating. And let me tell you, getting a steady signal out of an actual arcade machine, these are not emulators, these are the real deal. It's very challenging. So forgive us if you see some sync issues every now and then inside the broadcast on some of the machines. Please know that our players are not seeing any glitches whatsoever. It's just the fact that the way we had to route the video out of the arcade machines without disturbing the actual arcade machine, it was very challenging. And so we tried to work around it as much as we can so that we could bring you the clearest possible screen of what they're doing, because we didn't feel just a camera over their shoulder was going to be effective enough. So they're getting ready. And I think we can probably switch over to that feed now and see them sort of getting ready in there. And I will be quiet for a second, and then we can transition over to the commentating seat. So if Neo, if you want to make that switch, very nice. Yeah, well, here, actually, when you talk, it'll come straight through to the broadcast. So if you guys start talking about that, they'll hear you in the broadcast. Well, gentlemen.
Oh, you get to see it.
I get to see the camera. Why are you watching the camera?
You'll be jealous of how attractive I look. The attractiveness is going to distract you, and it's just like...
You might peek over there,
I'll say, wait, Dwayne's ahead of me. You gotta get
There you go.
It's a long road to hoe. Oh.
You get 2 attempts in probably, or you just
do whatever, because I think someone should do someone should get a perfect while we're here.
You know what?
Or Abner. Yeah, you just play whatever game.
I thought about it, because hopefully in about 4 hours I should be done.
Yeah.
So I'll figure I'll probably try to.
Yeah.
Because you guys are gonna be here.
Yeah.
While they're commentating, I'll make sure that to make a mention that we may do a restart within the first 2 hours.
So what you guys are seeing is the 20th and 25th anniversary editions of the Pac-Man game.
I'm gonna go with the Medusa here.
Let's see, I can
Anybody
tell
who looks at me
you.
is gonna turn to stone.
Don Hays is on a 20th anniversary edition. Tim Balderramos is on a 20th, and Dwayne and Abner are on the 25th.
So the rumor is
anniversary
they're almost going
edition.
to Pittsburgh.
They are going to be playing for an hour or so, seeing if they can get into a groove for a perfect
I wasn't worried about
Pac-Man.
McAllister, but now I said
They're going to give it a couple hours just to try to get to see if they're on track for a perfect Pac-Man. If not, then they'll switch over to just the marathon mode, where they're going to try to get to the kill screen and just take it through. So
Does he have a job?
hopefully you like our layout.
Yeah, that's I wonder what he does still. Like he's running out of low-skilled jobs that he could actually do and still be hired and not get fired in the area. Like it's just crazy.
I haven't really talked to him much.
I was just.
I was surprised. I was surprised. Yeah. So when was Robbie out there?
Oh well, for now it's okay because they'll
Like,
just hear the
I was
voices.
surprised, like, I was
Here,
About a month ago, yeah. You just,
I was serious.
just say who's on the mic, and you and I can just be talking. And
So you guys are aware? There are mics.
yes, and Jace and
Okay.
No credit card number.
Don Hodges to my right, but he doesn't have a mic. Do we have one more mic?
We just talk about people we hate. It's like
They'll hear us.
live on
If you
the
want to see the
internet, it's not
chat,
behind
that's
your
right
back,
there.
Just to your face.
So we can just you can. So if you want to talk to anybody in there, you might know some of these people. Oh, Neil's got a mic. Okay, so here, that's for Don Hodges.
Do I look good? Give me an honest opinion. Do I look good on the camera?
Let's see.
It's like Abner's single, ladies.
So if you guys can, go ahead. Go ahead and say something so that we can verify that they hear you.
Jason and Don are talking right now.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the back of you guys right here.
Yeah.
And we'll be switching in and out. So good luck, everybody.
Okay, so we're good. Can we start now then? Or what?
Mute them.
Yeah, everybody.
Bring it on.
So the stream is this all over the place?
I can't get my game to start.
Is it can you make us out, or is it or maybe they need to just lower them. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see if you can lower them. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be higher and just have them lower. Yeah. And then, so the cameras aren't on us right now, but if we kick it back here, they will be. But if you guys want anything to drink, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna get
No,
something.
actually.
We are.
I can't get to the menu.
Let me grab one of these. Oh, sure. Hand that to Paul. Paul Dean on the mic. Yes. And the bathroom is just to the right. It's the door you came in. It's right by the door you came in. Yeah. And are you? Oh, here. Press. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's. Do we want to sit and watch? Right here and here. We can just sit and watch. Like so. Oh yeah. Yes, I believe you are. You were the one who figured out the board stuff, right? You were involved in it, right? Turn your mic on. There you go. We're all hanging out, right? Yeah. Yeah. So
This is Don Hodges here. For those of you listening in.
Don Hodges, you're hidden in the shot. Let's see. Maybe you know what? We should move why not pull these chairs over so you're kind of in the middle?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll do that. Trying to get the shot right. Right. Let's see. So then we got the chat over here. Actually, can you put the chat up there, Nick? That way we won't have to turn our heads. Yeah. So look at Dwayne. So we can see all the. Oh, I need to cycle the scaler because Dwayne's thing is off. Give me 2 seconds. Take me 2 seconds. You guys will see Dwayne's thing flicker for a second.
That's funny. We can see him, but we can't hear him.
That's right. I don't know if they're doing a lot of talking.
I mean, hear the games. A lot of guys are excited to see Abner.
Yeah, he's given us a benefit because no one's really seen him play, and have it done live. He's got some special tricks that you keep that private.
Yeah.
So he's actually letting the world see those tricks, which is a big.
I'm just resetting Dwayne's video feed.
To kind of risk it
seeing any
because
change.
once everybody
Yeah.
knows his strategy,
But we want to make sure that the Pac-Man
he
screen
could
is fully
possibly have some
inside
competition
the
there.
video area. There we go. completely back.
A lot of the gamers, they've worked for
There you
years
go.
and decades on their techniques to do better, and now it's all out in the public. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to give away all my techniques I work so hard on. So but them doing this is really amazing.
Let me see if this light is too much. Can you turn that one off? Yeah. That way we're not so spotlit. It just looks too spotlighty. If you can just turn off that light, that would be great. You can just unplug it. That'd be. Let's see. Wrong one. There. Now you got to turn the camera back up. Yeah, that's better. That feels more like we're lounging.
It does.
Right?
It does.
All right. Okay, so audience, can you hear my voice still? Can Paul Dean say something? See, let's check.
Hi, how's it going?
Can you hear Paul Dean and Don? Can you say something?
Yeah, hi, this is Don Hodges.
Okay, if you can hear all three of us, someone say that we can all three be heard. So we want to make sure that we're able to talk to the chat and engage in dialogue with you guys. And it takes about 15 seconds for the.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a delay.
Yeah, because yes. So we'll see. Hopefully, I hear voices. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, yes, yes. Faintly hear me. Everything looks good.
Okay.
All right. Yes, Duders, the Miss Pac-Man, Ambner Ashman is playing. He's the top Miss Pac-Man player. So he actually, and very rarely does he publicly display his skill. Rarely. So you're actually seeing a very rare event. And so, you might want to pay attention to what's going on with Miss Pac-Man because you're not going to see it again.
True.
Hey, Pac-Man 83. Dwayne is playing freehand too. Very surprising. It's great. So, what do you guys think about all this? Like, this whole thing.
It's fun. Oh yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's you're sharing it with the world, which is really interesting.
Do you know all these guys already? Have you already met everybody?
Pretty much, yeah. Different contests along the way. I've run into them.
And you, of course, hold that Spy Runner record.
Yeah, Spy Hunter.
That's right.
I might have to take the frenzy score back. We'll see
Oh,
about
ooh. Joel West just got a little nervous when you said that. Okay, this is really cool. We've been scrambling all day and yesterday getting all the broadcasts set up, so I hadn't really had a good chance to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're seeing, you see the little Pac-Man pass over, and then now we're hearing the shot.
that. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That was amazing. Wait, do it again. Everybody watch this cool transition. We have bam! Now you're looking at the arcade machines. You see that? Bam!
Nice transition.
And then look, we're gonna come back. And you're gonna see, bam! Pac-Man transforming everything.
We're back.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've told some people that we're all getting a little bit older now, and so it's good that this is getting on video while we're still playing. We're not going
Right.
to play forever.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a joystick in your hand until the very last day.
That's right.
Damn it. Dear chat, hey chat out there. So, how are you guys feeling about the layout? How are you guys feeling about what we're doing here so far? I mean, we've got a long road to go, so it's gonna be a real casual thing. Soon we'll start up some background music so we can have some ambient stuff. But right now in the beginning, we're just
John.
we're just letting it be. Jace is drinking rich people water. I'm drinking sparkling lemon.
Thanks.
Yeah, because if you touch the bottom, it interferes with the transmitter.
Gotta learn
basically.
these things.
I know. Trust me, we've learned all the hard way. Dwayne looks really into the game. Wes Copeland says. Rolled cigs. Glad that you like it. So Balderramos is the only one playing for speed on Pac-Man. Someone got banned.
Oh, so soon?
I don't know who it was. So I guess someone Look, we're trying to keep everything professional around here.
Have to.
I mean, it's part of the issue that video game players have faced is the non-professional stigma, you know? So, you know, I think if we can just, you know, just a little bit, just step it up a little bit. You know, you don't want to go over the top because we're gaming, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a temporary. It's not a.
Cool
Okay.
down.
The admin said that it's not a ban. Whoever got banned was not banned. It was just a temporary cool down period. So whoever that was will be able to come back. That is bottom. So who are you rooting for in this? That's what I want to know. Like, who do you want to see get the perfect Pac-Man, set the high score for this version, right? And like who?
Well, I will say that Dwayne, I don't know if he's turned any scores in. So
No.
he's the underdog. Nobody really knows that he's a Pac-Man player because he's not turning anything in. So it's like it's always fun to see the underdog. You know, if he can beat Don Hays or Tim, I mean, people will be impressed because they don't expect it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, talking to Dwayne yesterday, he knows he's the underdog. But he feels, to quote him, he's surrounded by greats, and he feels that he's going to suck all their energy and become super great because of that. It's just going to elevate his whole game.
Yeah, that's true. It does up your game playing with great players. I like this head-on-head idea. It makes it more exciting, you know.
Yes.
How do you make video games exciting? Put them head-to-head.
They said we need a Pac player to give commentary, I think. I know, Anning May, but listen, we invited David Race to do that, but he's too busy.
Huh.
He had other things that he needed
Well,
to
you
do.
know a lot about Pac-Man, the technical side, correct?
Yeah, let's hear it, man.
So we should. Have you been introduced? I mean, do people know your story?
Yeah, well, yeah. Why don't you tell it? This is Don Hodges, and he's amazing. He's going to tell you why.
So he's like a brilliant programmer. Why don't you tell us, you know, what you know about Pac-Man?
Well, I know a lot about it. I've analyzed the game code that controls the game. I've written up a lot of articles about Pac-Man and other games that I've been asked to look at or I've looked at on my own. So there's a lot of very interesting things in Pac-Man that are not obvious to the casual player that you discover when you look at the code.
They say your mic is muffled, so maybe if you take it off your ear and hold it,
Oh yeah?
yeah, that way they'll hear you a little bit better. Or,
Sure.
Neo, do you have a lav mic instead of the ear mic?
Is this better?
That probably should be better. Give him 15 seconds.
Don's mic is canceled.
They said it's fixed. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, yeah. So I was talking to the players earlier before we started the event about how I got into this, and there's a lot of different angles to it, but one of them is that back in the day, I discovered the fix, not the fix, but the cheat, so to speak, on Galaga, which allows players to do like a trick and have the aliens in Galaga stop shooting at you.
Oh, you figured out how to fix that?
Well, I didn't. Yeah, well, I no, I didn't. But what happened was back in the day, I learned about the trick from a magazine. I went in the arcade and did it, and I was able to get to the kill screen in Galaga.
We're talking about the non-shoot trick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at level 256 or whatever, it says stage 0 instead when you're playing on the hard skill. And I remember what happened was I was playing at a arcade in Burbank, and when I got there, I couldn't play any further. I showed the game to the game attendant, and he promptly reset the game and then refunded my quarter to me. And that's after playing for like 2 hours. And to me, that was a huge deal to play a game for that long. So anyway.
Yeah, to him too.
Well, he didn't care. I mean, he wasn't watching.
Oh, really?
No one else really,
he was worried about making more money?
No, he didn't really care. He just was like, oh, the game is frozen, and he reset it, and here's your money back. So anyway,
he's gonna try to change your mic so that way you can just clip it and don't have to hold it. Hold on a second, everybody. Yeah, he started over.
All right. I got a new mic. Can you guys hear me okay? Wait a while before
Man,
they get an
look at
answer.
Abner. It's like he almost had a perfect. He just lost it. It's crazy.
Can you guys verify that I'm on?
Yeah, can you guys hear Don?
You guys in the
We just
chat?
changed the mic over for him.
I just got a new mic. Can you guys verify that I'm coming through okay in the chat room?
Sounds what? Bad?
Raspy.
Raspy. Staticky and bad. Let's see. We'll try that. Okay.
All right, so I'm on the other mic. I'm going to assume this mic is working good. So anyway, you fast forward to thousands. I became aware of an article that someone had written for, I believe the magazine was called Circuit Seller. And I'm sorry, I've forgotten the guy's name. But somebody had done what I've been doing lately, and that is he dug into the code of Galaga and found out why you could do that trick in Galaga. And that's something that I always wondered about. I was like, what? You know, because in Galaga, to do that trick, you've got to, you know, kill off all the enemies except for one and let them fly around for like 10, 15 minutes before you get that cheat. And so he figured out why that happens. And I remember thinking at the time, well, that's pretty cool. You know, he's done all this, you know, digging into the code to find out why this happens. So flash forward a few years past that, and King of Kong came out, and I was a big Donkey Kong fan, so I went and saw that film. And I didn't even know the game had a kill screen. So when I found out about that, I thought I'd do the same thing that other guy had done for Galaga, and I dug into the code of Donkey Kong and found out why the game does what it does at level 22 or whatever it is. And I did a write-up on my website for that. And then around the same time, I found out about the Pac-Man split screen. And I decided to figure out why Pac-Man does what it does. So I did that, and I did my write-up there.
And why does Pac-Man do what it does?
Okay, so Pac-Man. Well, in Pac-Man, there's a subroutine which draws the fruit or the bonus items down at the bottom of the screen before the level starts. I think it also does that after you, it must do it after you die as well. It redraws it after you die. And that's important because when you get to the kill screen, some of those dots that are on the right-hand side get redrawn after you die. But anyway, that subroutine is written in such a way that when you get to level 256, there's kind of an overflow that occurs, which causes it to actually try to draw 256 fruit, which it can't do, obviously, and so it tries to. And the way that the video memory is laid out, it ends up drawing fruit all along the bottom of the screen, and also ends up corrupting the right-hand side of the screen. In a little more detail, the subroutine which draws the fruit is, what it does is it looks at the level number, and it does some checks to see if you're on a level between 0 and 7, and if you're not, then to do something else. But the kind of the core of the problem is that in Pac-Man, the level numbers in the game code are actually one less than the actual level that you're on. So for example, when you play level 1, the cherry screen, the game counts that as level 0. Okay, so the subroutine which draws the fruit, when it's run, the very first thing it does is it takes the level number and it adds 1 to it. So for example, on the cherry screen, the game counts that as level 0. The subroutine comes in, adds 1 to 0 to get 1, and then it figures out, okay, we're going to draw 1 cherry or whatever. So when you get to level 256, the level counter at that point is 255. And then the routine immediately adds 1 to that. Well, there's an overflow there, which causes that counter to go to 0 instead of a number between 1 and whatever. And because it's at 0, the subroutine is not expecting a 0. That number is actually used as a loop counter. And the way that the loop counting is done on the Z80 microprocessor is that if your loop counter starts at 0, you're actually going to run through that loop 256 times. So that's what happens when you get to the split screen. And anyone who wants to read more information about that can go to my website, which is donhodges.com, and find my article on there about the split screen on Pac-Man. You might also find all the other articles I've written about other games that I've analyzed the code for. And as part of this, I also wrote a fix, which actually fixes the subroutine which draws the fruit, so that you can actually, if you apply the fix, you can actually play through the level 256 and keep going.
You made the fix. Is there a name for that ROM set?
No, well, it was never made official. It was just something that I made and posted.
You just have one?
Yeah, I posted it, and as far as I know, no one is going to be using that like fixed ROM set to do it. And I made a comment on the page that I wrote it up for, and I wrote that it's probably a good thing that the split screen exists, because if it didn't, Pac-Man is very marathonable, and you combine that with the hiding spots that you have in there, and you could play the game indefinitely. You could
That's interesting.
You could really play the game for as long as the game has power. Months, years.
That would be. Could you imagine?
You could just park Pac-Man and go sleep or whatever.
Someone would do it too. Someone would play like
a
3-year game.
It's totally conceivable. So I opinion that it's a good thing that it has a split screen, which gives us, now we have the idea of a perfect game, and so on. So that's the split screen in a nutshell. And again, all the gory details are on my website, if anybody is interested in it.
That's amazing, all that stuff. I just got a text from Rick Fox, who said he'll come here in a few hours. He may bring some people with him. He's a huge Ms. Pac-Man fan. He's probably the best NBA player to walk the earth to play Ms. Pac-Man. So he, I think, would be very interested in seeing Ambner do his thing.
Now that you mentioned Ambner, how much research have you done on the Ms. Pac-Man KillScreens?
Yeah, I've done a lot on that too.
Because people don't know, there's like 8 different ones.
Yeah, it's like it's different.
How does that work?
Well, I don't know all the details of how it works. And one of the things that I discovered when I was looking into Ms. Pac-Man was that, because I don't actually have an actual Ms. Pac-Man game, I was doing it all in the emulator called MAME. And Ms. Pac-Man has a slightly different problem. Well, it has a different problem entirely, really, where the problem occurs because of the subroutine, which actually draws the slowdown tunnels for the slowdown areas for the tunnels. So it turns out that since Ms. Pac-Man has different mazes than Pac-Man does, the guys that created Ms. Pac-Man wrote a subroutine in it that would draw an invisible bit into some areas of the memory, in the screen memory, to indicate to the ghosts when they should slow down when they're going through the tunnel. And so, because of the way that they wrote the code, the guys that wrote Ms. Pac-Man used the wrong comparator for that subroutine. They used a check to see if number is negative instead of if it was a carry. And because of that, at a certain level, I forget the number, 130 something, that subroutine, which draws that slowdown bit, goes haywire and draws, instead of just a small number of places in the screen memory, that bit, it draws that bit into a bunch of places, and including into the RAM, where game variables and other things are stored, and it causes the game to really just kind of go crazy, really, when you get to it. And so all kinds of weird things happen when you get to those kill screens in Ms. Pac-Man.
So are you
different thing.
You're familiar? You're looking at all of this in assembly code.
Yes, it's assembly language. Z80 assembly language.
8080 or
Z80.
Z80.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and are you familiar with 6502?
Yes. That's what I cut my teeth on.
Commodore 64?
Commodore 64.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to have a Commodore 64 Olympics, like we Play through those games. That'd be really fun.
It would. So anyway, as I dug through the code for Ms. Pac-Man, I developed fixes. The fixes are actually quite simple because all you got to do is change the wrong programming operation from checking from what it has to what it should be, and that error gets fixed. And then there's another one, and I'm forgetting now what it is exactly, but there's one which draws like the color of the mazes, which has the same problem. And so anyway, once you fix all those other bugs, you can actually get to Ms. Pac-Man's split screen, which actually does have a split screen. It's the same error because it reuses the same code.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Ms. Pac-Man, the code of Ms. Pac-Man is actually essentially the same as Pac-Man. They changed a few things, added some mazes and some other things, but the core code of the game is
So
the
it
same.
was destined to have a split screen.
It has a split screen, and I have it all on my website if you want to look at it.
So it has two bugs, basically.
Yeah.
The one that stops you from getting to the split screen, and then the split screen.
Yeah, the split screen does occur if you fix the other bugs and get to it. So I wrote a fix for that, and that was very interesting to see. I was probably the first one to ever see Ms. Pac-Man's split screen.
What does it look like? Same kind of thing?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it is. It is the same kind of thing where the right-hand side is garbled.
How long did it take you to figure this stuff out?
Oh, it took months.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah, because you start off with, well, some other guys had started to analyze Pac-Man's code, so I had kind of a starting place. Some of the stuff had been figured out as far as what does what. And along the way, I figured out how to use MAME, and MAME has a very good debugger in it, which allows you to set breakpoints. And so, for example, if you're wondering what a certain memory element is used for, you can set a breakpoint when it changes, and then you can eventually figure things out that way. I did that with Donkey Kong too. So it took me months and months to. I actually, when I think it back a little bit, because finding out just the code where the split screen is, it was fairly straightforward. To zero in on those points and Ms. Pac-Man where the other problems occur, that was fairly straightforward to find that. And so getting that done wasn't too bad. What I did after that was I made a point to basically figure out all of the code in Pac-Man and incidentally in Donkey Kong. So I've analyzed all those games almost exhaustively, and that's the part that took months because it's painstaking. Looking at assembly language, trying to figure out what is going on with the code and what it's exactly doing. It's very, very tedious.
So just on that vein, have you looked at all about, some people think that they can control the distribution of the fruit or what good fruit come out?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of questions about that. So in Ms. Pac-Man, the answer to that is no. There's no way to control that. The code in Pac-Man to determine which fruit comes out after the bananas end is it uses a there's what's called a refresh register in the Z80, and that register is constantly changing, and whenever you read it, it is going to give you an extremely random number. There is no way to control that. There's no way. So it is very, very random, and there's no way to do that. Aside from modifying the code
Right.
to do something else, you're going to get a very, very random number, and so yeah, I got a lot of questions. Like when I started doing this, I started getting emails from world record holders and stuff who wanted to find out about this.
Oh, we can set it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna set the continue for Dwayne. I'll be right back. That machine does not have it set. Here, just pop.
Make sure you can continue, because it might continue in the screen might turn off on you.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I just let it.
There should be yellow numbers. The yellow numbers.
The continue did.
Okay, mine
did come
mine
up.
hasn't come up.
Here we go. So we want to do that. Oh no, actually, it's probably in the general.
Volume disabled.
Okay, Jack Gale. I played. Let's see, which camera we have here. Straight ahead, all of them. Okay. I had records on a few games.
All right.
Tapper,
I knew
Zookeeper, Karate Champ, Mad Crasher, Hogan's Alley.
Well, listen, there you go.
A few others. Pac-Man is a game that I could play at, I guess, I never knew there was a kill screen. So back in the 80s, I would just play. I'd maybe get to 1 million and stop, or 2 million and then quit. If I had any clue that there was a split screen, I would have been excited as heck and just did everything I could to get there.
You don't know about anybody getting a split screen?
No, I didn't, and it's funny because it would be like a year or so later that I met Billy and Chris Ira, Billy Mitchell. So
What year was that, or what?
I met them in '84. So maybe a couple years. But pretty much Pac-Man was probably one of the top 3 most popular games where I was, where I lived. And not many, I had my own 9th key pattern. So it wasn't the best pattern in the world. It was kind of hard on the wrist, but it worked.
You made up your own?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it was fun. It took a while to try, a lot of trial and error, but it was rewarding. And then there was a competition in a skating rink. I think it was called the Sunshine Skateway in South Florida area, and it was Pac-Man was the game, and no one could get more than a few 100,000. So I knew I was a lock to win. I should say there were 2 prizes. First place was a video game. I can't remember what the game was. It wasn't a Pac-Man, but it was another video game. And Pac-Man made too much money. They wouldn't give away a Pac-Man. And second place was a pinball. I don't remember the name of the pinball, but I said, oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind getting either one of those. So, and I was a lock. So the night before the competition, I went to Cloverleaf Miniature Golf and Arcade, which is a famous arcade. It's no longer there. It's a gas station now in Miami, North Miami Beach area. And I figured, why not get a little Pac-Man practice in? And normally, like I said, I'd quit the game around the 1 million point mark. So I played kind of late at night, and then I played again and again, and I would quit around 1.5 million, 2 million, and get an audience, and it was fun, people, having a good time. So then the next day I went to this Pac-Man competition at the skating rink, but my wrist was shot from playing Pac-Man too much the day before. And I played baseball too. So I guess a combination of everything. And because my 9th key pattern was hardly the best one in the world, and it required a really hard wrist flick after I picked up the fruit in the middle, it was you had to be a really crisp move, and I wasn't able to execute it. So to make a long story short, I finished in 3rd place. So I didn't get the arcade game with the pinball, and the guys who finished 1st and 2nd kept thanking me because they knew that I should have won. But I won't say what I did after that, but I wasn't very happy because but it taught me a lesson that you can practice too much. Yeah, you can practice too much. But it's a shame because if I hadn't practiced the night before, that probably would have been the day I got to the kill screen, the split screen. I'm sure that would have been it, and it would have been such a tremendous surprise. But it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. I by no means would have had a perfect score or anything close to it, because I didn't get 1,600 on the later rounds when the ghosts only flashed for a millisecond. I wasn't that good, so I have to admit that. But that's my. So after that, I wasn't really too crazy on playing Pac-Man, but this competition is fascinating. I mean, seeing these guys, and the Ms. Pac-Man game here has turned into something really interesting to watch. Not very much, but I used to watch Billy and Chris. They were the first ones I know of to group the monsters, and it was just fascinating to watch them play because nobody else was doing it. Yeah, that I was aware of. I apologize to anyone elsewhere who was doing it, but it was just they would constantly complain about, in a humorous way, about the random fruits that came out. They would be playing a game and it would be great, and then all of a sudden they start getting the wrong fruits, and oh, this game's not gonna, come out. This game, but that's what you had to do. You just had to do the best you could and hope you got the right fruits. But it's interesting listening to a programmer discuss how it's generated.
What explain the ninth key? What does it? How's the program change when that happens?
I don't want to pretend like I know more than I do. But
So I got a mic here. Yeah, this is the one that Jace was using, so it should be good. So before I get to that, I just saw a question on the chat a while ago asking me about Super Pac-Man. And the answer to the question is no, I haven't looked into Super Pac-Man's game code at all. But if you want me to, email me and ask me what you want me to look for, and I might be able to find it. Hopefully I'm coming through here okay. So what do you want to know about the ninth key?
How does the game change when it gets to that spot?
Yeah, the ninth key, the main change when you get to the ninth key is that Pac-Man's speed slows down. And so you're considerably slower than you used to be, which makes it a lot harder, obviously. It's much easier to get caught by ghosts that are running after you. And so without a pattern, the ninth key level is extremely difficult because the other reason, too, that it's hard at that point is that the energizers have no effect other than that they reverse the ghost's direction. But that effect had already, I think, happened earlier, depending on the ROM set you're playing, the difficulty. But yeah, Pac-Man basically, that's the big change at the ninth key, is that Pac-Man gets slower than he was before.
So if you don't have a pattern, you're in trouble.
Oh my God, yes. I remember, I used to play Pac-Man a bit in my youth, and you can use that apple pattern all the way almost up to the ninth key. And I got to the ninth key a few times, and it's just there's no way to advance without a pattern. And my story behind this too is that I never got to the kill screen, but I remember going to my local arcade one day and watching someone who had a very good ninth key pattern, and he played it for, I don't know how, I remember watching him long enough to learn the pattern. So the next time I was able to play the game, I remembered his pattern, and I started using it. And I got to, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 keys or whatever at one point. And I remember telling a friend of mine in Sunday school about it, and he was laughing at me. And he proceeded to draw on paper like a Pac-Man maze with keys all over the place. Not knowing that, okay, the 30th key is still only drawing 7 at the bottom. So yeah, the game does get very hard at that point, and without a pattern, unless you're like an expert player like these guys are, these guys could probably play without a pattern on the ninth key. But it's not really advisable.
You guys can just say the word, I'll have pizzas brought in for you guys. You guys can snack and commentate.
Awesome, man.
Just let me know.
Awesome.
Well, I haven't seen all of Abner's Ms. Pac-Man game, but I've been following it, and it's looking pretty interesting. Trying to see if there's any comments in the blog on that one, but yeah. It seemed like he's got a good score going. I wouldn't be able to say for sure, but
Yeah, look at that group right there. He's just getting all of them. It's amazing. I played Ms. Pac-Man a bit in my youth too, and if I got to this level, I was doing good.
Yeah.
This junior level, they call it, or whatever. I think I might have passed this screen once and got to the next one where it repeats the previous board.
The original, I think it goes back to the original.
It goes back to there's 4 boards. It goes back to the third one. It alternates between this one and the third. I got to that, I think, once.
One time.
Yeah, just once. Now look at that. That's amazing.
What do you follow? There's they consider the best score. They do it by time now, right? So
Right, the perfect game and the fastest guy to get there.
you want to explain how they're doing that now? It's the faster you are, they're saying the better you are because you have a quicker turnaround.
Yeah, and so yeah, the perfect game in Pac-Man consists of eating all the ghosts and all the prizes through all the levels up until the split screen. And then when you get to the split screen, first of all, you have to get there without having died at all, because, and some of you guys that are watching may not know this, but when you get to the split screen actually draws like 9, I think, edible dots on the right-hand side of the screen, which you can eat when you get to the split screen. So when you get to the split screen, you have to eat all the dots on the left-hand side of the screen, and then you have to eat the 9 dots on the right-hand side. And then what you have to do is you actually have to kill yourself. And when you kill yourself, the fruit subroutine runs again, and it redraws those 9 dots that you've eaten already. They're redrawn. And so you have to go and eat those 9 dots again, and you have to kill your life and do it again and again until you get to your final life, and then eat those last 9 dots. And if you've done that, then you've achieved the perfect game in Pac-Man, where you've eaten every possible dot, every possible ghost, every possible prize, and you've gotten the maximum possible score that you could possibly get in Pac-Man. And so what they have now is I don't know, there's a small number of people that have actually done that officially. I think, I don't know, 6 or 8 people. I don't know the exact number. I think Billy Mitchell was the first, if I'm not mistaken. 1999. And so what they're doing now is they're saying, okay, these guys have all gotten the perfect game, and they look at how long it took them to get the perfect game. And the guy that can do it in the fastest amount of time has the most prestige, I guess. And currently that's David Race, I believe. And my claim to fame on this is that, back when I was looking into all this, I actually developed some patterns that were faster than anybody had ever seen before, for the 9th key in particular. And since that's the ones that's used most through the game, if you develop a pattern that's even a fraction of a second faster than the previous known fastest pattern for the 9th key, you could potentially go in and use that pattern and get the fastest Pac-Man world record, which is approximately what David Race did. I'm pretty sure he used either my patterns or he modified my patterns to make them even faster.
Do you make your patterns available?
Yeah, immediately when I remember I was finding these patterns for the 9th key, and I found a couple that were extremely fast, faster than anyone else, and I immediately put them on YouTube. And and shortly afterwards, David Race either used those patterns or variations of them to get his world record fastest Pac-Man, perfect Pac-Man, which is great for him. I could probably never do that. I mean, I can develop and I kind of cheated developing these patterns because I'm using MAME.
Right, you go right to it.
And you can use save states in MAME to try what works in these patterns and what doesn't. And if you get to a point where something doesn't work, you can just load a save state and resume where you left off to try a different path in the pattern to optimize the patterns. So yeah, that's exciting stuff.
I think Dwayne's just getting warmed up here. Yeah. Yeah, he had a long drive, so we'll cut him some slack.
Well, I guess they had a problem with it wasn't continued or something. They had to reset something.
Yeah, there was an issue with the machine, so it's probably a good thing that he was having some trouble at first. They were able to find the problem before he put in too much time on it. Seems like Dawn is in a rhythm here. And Tim is just going for speed, correct? Tim Balderramos. Okay. Right, yeah, that's for people who may have just tuned in.
So how long do you think it'll take him to get to the KillScreen button for speed?
Well, you still have to run through the 9th key. It's going to take a good 4 hours from the game start, I'm guessing. I think the world record is something like 3.5 for David Race. Yes. So depending on which pattern he uses for his 9th key, it's going to be, I don't know how far we're into it, but it'll be another 3 or so hours before he gets to the split screen.
Have you studied at all the parking spot? Can you tell us about that at all?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that. It's not something I'd looked at extensively, but it's funny, I was just telling my son about this. I have a 6-year-old son, and I told him I was coming to this, and before I left, he asked to play Pac-Man. So I loaded it up in MAME and let him play a bit. I put it on invincibility mode, because he's not quite there yet. But I showed him the parking spot, and he's like, well, how does that happen? And part of the answer is that there's 2 spaces in the maze where the ghosts can't go up. One of them is immediately right above the ghost house. Those passageways above the ghost house, the ghosts are not allowed to go up there. The exception is when they're blue from an energizer. Then they can go anywhere. But when they're chasing you, they can't go up in that area. And they also can't go up in the area right above where Pac-Man starts the maze. So they're not allowed to go up in those areas. And it's interesting. I'm not sure why the programmers made it that way exactly. It obviously makes the game a little bit easier if they can't do that. But
I don't think it's indefinitely, right? Something switches around. You can't just stay there forever.
well, yeah. When you go to the so-called parking spot, you can go there, and if the ghosts are in a certain position in the maze, since they can't go up there, like if, for example, if they're all below you or something, they will stay below you and not be able to capture you up there. Now, if they somehow get above you, they can attack you from the right side. So you have to be kind of careful. And this also ties into the idea of the reversals that occur in the game. And I was explaining this to my son as well. There's what's called scatter mode. So, and it's interesting, the designers of the game, or the designer of the game, I forget his name off the top of my head, McNamara or something. When he was designing the game, he figured out that it wasn't good to have the ghosts always be chasing you. It was too hectic. So he programmed into it the scatter mode. So basically the ghosts chase you for a while, and then at a certain point, I think it's based on a timer, they scatter. In other words, they go to their corners. The red guy goes to the top right, Pinky goes to the top left, and so on. So there's these scatter modes that occur on timers. So if you're at a parking spot and then the ghosts go into a scatter mode, they could potentially then come and get you. So there's only a certain number of scatter modes per level. And this is one of the things I found out when I was looking at the game code, that there's actually a scatter mode many minutes into the level. Like there's a few at the beginning, like every 30 seconds. But then after 5 or so minutes, there's another one that occurs. So you have to be careful that if you're going to park it for a long, long time, you have to make sure that all of those scatter modes are finished, or else you could conceivably get caught. Unless there's something I don't know. Maybe it's possible that there's something I don't know, but that's essentially it.
Can you mention about the ghosts' different behaviors? Like some ghosts seem smarter than others.
Oh yeah, that's something I've looked at too. The way that the ghosts are programmed to come after you. All right, so let's start with Speedy. Right, that's the red one. Is that his name? Speedy is targeting your position exactly. So he's always, if he seems like he's always right on your tail, that's because he is programmed to always come after you in the shortest distance possible. One of the interesting things about the Pac-Man Ghost is that they're not allowed to, except for the scatter modes where they do reverse their direction, and when you obviously eat an energizer, they reverse direction. But when they're chasing you, they're not allowed to turn around. And
One-way movement.
yeah, they can only, they come to an intersection, and when they get to an intersection, they have to decide which way to turn at the intersection. And when they're almost at the intersection, actually when they're one tile away from it, that's when they make their decision where they're going to turn next. And it's interesting because, their eyes will turn to face the direction that they're about to move. So, a very quick looking player can see ahead of time which way they're going to turn. But the expert players actually know the way that the ghosts move anyway, and they're going to know which way they go. So anyway, Blinky, I think is his name. It's not Speedy, it's Blinky. Blinky is a red one. He targets your exact tile, and he's always going to be looking for you exactly. So Inky, not Inky, but I'm getting the guy's names confused now. The pink one, what's the pink one's name? Blinky, maybe the guys in the chat. No, anyway, the pink ghost, what he targets is, Yeah, Clyde is the orange one, and Inky is the blue one. Anyway, the pink one, he targets 2 squares ahead of you. Okay, so he's one you can actually fool. So if you're coming to like an intersection and Pinky is coming toward you, you can fake him out by pointing Pac-Man in a certain direction, and he can conceivably turn away from you because he's targeting not you but 2 squares in front of you. But there is, and as I discovered and was actually known before, a bug in that algorithm for Pinky's targeting. Pinky, I want to call him. That's right, Pinky. Pinky, thank you guys in the chat. So there's a bug in his algorithm where if Pac-Man is facing up, he doesn't target 2 squares up from Pac-Man, but he actually targets 2 squares up and 2 squares to the left. And that's because of a bug in the way the program code was written for that. And I have that analyzed on my website as well, something I know about. So anyway, usually Pinky is targeting 2 squares in front of you. Next is Inky. Inky has of all the ghosts, the blue one. Yeah, he has actually the most interesting algorithm for targeting, and that is that it actually triangulates between Blinky's position and Pac-Man's position, and what it does is it takes the position of Blinky, which is the red ghost, and it basically, if you draw a line from Blinky to Pac-Man, and then continue that line for like a few squares, that's going to be Inky's target. So Inky actually is going to kind of ambush you a lot of times because Blinky is a lot of times right behind you. And so Inky is going to be targeting essentially in front of you, but not necessarily exactly. It depends on the triangulation. It's a very interesting algorithm. But Blinky's targeting also has this similar bug to Inky's, and that is that instead of, it's like 1 square in front of this position that's computed, and when you're facing up, it's also 1 square to the left, so it's slightly also buggy. And then the last one is Clyde. So Clyde is the orange ghost, and his targeting is this. Actually, when he has 2 modes. One is when he's far away from Pac-Man, and another mode is when he's close to Pac-Man. And he determines his distance by using the Pythagorean theorem to compute his average distance or something. But when he's far away from Pac-Man, he actually uses the same targeting that Blinky does, the red ghost. So he tries to target Pac-Man's actual position when he's far away from Pac-Man. However, when he gets close to Pac-Man, and I forget the distance, it's like, I don't know, 8 tiles or something. When he gets close to Pac-Man, he then actually targets the bottom left corner. He actually runs away. Now, he can be dangerous if you're in the bottom left corner, because when you get close to him, he's going to be still targeting your general area, and he's not going to run away from you like he will in other areas. So it was very interesting. I saw something a few years ago where I think it was the designer of Pac-Man was talking about the algorithms, and he actually said that Clyde's targeting was random, which is totally not true. Right. It's not random. There's 2 modes. There's chasing Pac-Man and then running to the bottom left corner. So yeah, these guys that play Pac-Man professionally, like the ones that are playing now, they know all this, and they know exactly how these ghosts target. It's very interesting. They can group them in particular ways, like they're doing in some of these games, like Abner and some of the other players here are doing that. Well, from right now, probably less than 4. Yeah, because we're already, an hour in, something? I don't know. And again, it depends on which. It looks like Tim is running the fastest here. So Tim will be the first one to get there. I'm looking. That's right. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so it looks like Tim is on the ninth key here, or past it. So he's using a ninth key pattern. And he's using one that, this is very similar to the one that I learned when I can tell by the beginning of it, this is similar to the one that I learned back in the day.
So I guess he's in trouble if he comes up a pattern. He's gonna have to scramble.
He would be in trouble, but he's an expert player, and I doubt that he's going to come off the pattern. He can run this pattern, and he's going to have to for the next 3 hours or so. It is. It's grueling. I've never done it. Again, back in the day, I got to the 20th or 30th key perhaps before I broke the pattern and died. So I've never done it, but it's.
You have to keep in your head what level you're on because it doesn't show the level. There's no number.
That's right. Without someone keeping track for you, or some other. Maybe you have to count in your head. I don't know what these guys are doing. Yeah, you would have to manually keep track of that because it just shows the same at the bottom. There's no way to really know that.
Except for maybe by your score.
That's right. You could. Yeah, if you're doing a perfect game, you could also tell by your score perhaps. An expert player would be able to do that.
Did you ever look up at your score? Or?
Oh yeah. I looked up my score. That's why I would also.
Okay, man, I'm out of here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know there was a kill screen, so I would just stop the game. But I was not getting perfect ghost scores. I wasn't getting 1600s on all of them, to be perfectly
So when you
clear.
get a million, is there a rollover or does it have that extra digit?
I remember it rolling over. I haven't done it since probably the early
I believe it rolls
80s.
over at $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, early 80s, but it's hard. I did it so many times.
What is your score that you
$9.99.
Well, it rolls back to 0.
So when you put in your,
Yeah.
there's no high score though. It's not.
There's no high score
so
table
Just
in
show
Pac-Man.
999 something.
Yeah, I think 9.99.
That's right. The high score will remain at whatever it was before. Depends on what you ate right before. If it was a dot, then it'll be all 9s.
Yeah.
But if it was a fruit, if it was a key, for example, if you happen to hit that, I don't know. If you're doing a perfect game, there must be a known thing for that, but I don't know what it is offhand.
So they need a bug fix so you've got an extra digit. So so people can follow along and know where you're at.
Well, the nice thing is with the kill screen, you're going to know where someone is eventually. Like they could say they have 3 million, but you're going to find out shortly whether they really have 3 million. It's like some other games where you say you turned it over 6 times. Well, now we're going to see today something a little different, but the traditional Pac-Man was, you couldn't get more than, what was it, a little over 3 million.
Yeah, 3.3 or something.
Yeah. 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 Let's see.
Oh yeah. Grouping them all.
Yeah, Dwayne missed one earlier that I saw. Yeah, he missed the 4th ghost, blue ghost. But he's regrouped. He's doing all right. Looks like everyone has all their lives here. Okay. And the Tim and Abner have almost identical scores again. It's kind of surreal. Yeah. Nice.
I think Tim's going to start to pull away because he's on the keys now. He's going to be getting 10,000 per board, and his pattern is going to keep him going faster as well. So he'll start to pull away a bit.
Yeah. 5,000 points. Right?
Yeah, but it's random. It's not always going to come out.
Yeah, you might get a cherry, you might get anything.
Well, if he gets that many bananas, we may be watching a world record if he gets that many bananas. Yeah, it's a different animal. No pun intended. Sorry about that. Yeah. How about a zookeeper marathon? I wish.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Is their sounds turned off? We can hear their games? Oh, okay. Okay. Do you have a count on how many people are watching this? Can you check it? Is it possible? Yeah.
I think more people may show up when it gets closer to the kill screen.
Oh, wow.
Right, so if you talk, like start saying something, then you hear what it sounds like when you're narrating over this. It's really cool. Who do you think is having the best games?
I'm not sure if Don has a perfect game going or not. I mean, maybe one of the bloggers could let us know, because we're watching so many things at once here. We have 4 games here. We have the blog there. We have a blog over there. We have a monitor here. Another monitor over there. So
they're all playing.
That's what it sounds like when you narrate over. Right? It sounds like really cool.
Yeah.
That's why you guys just keep talking to each other.
So is Abner at 3+1, or he could have been at 5+1? I don't know what the settings are, but I guess you know what I mean for the lives starting out.
It doesn't matter on Ms. Pac-Man, because once you get to the kill screen, it resets. No matter how many lives you have left. So you have a little bit of leeway there. You can actually die.
So it's not like Pac-Man where you redo those dots.
That's right. Well, the kill screen is actually a reset, typically.
So
the
you
game
lose your
just
score, you lose
yeah,
everything.
it's like if you weren't video recording it, you're gonna have a hard time knowing even what your score was before the reset occurred.
So on Ms. Pac-Man, if the kill screen you instantly die,
It just
saying, or
resets the game.
Instantly reset. Then
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to die 3 times right before the kill screen and get extra points?
You can't get extra points.
I mean, before the screen before the kill screen.
But what would you do to get extra points?
Well, it's you're right. It doesn't regenerate.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
you're
to
right.
regenerate.
Yeah,
There's nothing you
You're
can
right.
do there.
So if
Yeah.
if the resets, then you get a 0 score.
It just resets the game. It's like you press the reset button on it, and it does
So
its
you
thing.
want to die before it resets so you can see your score.
Well, you got to record it, or you got to be watching very carefully to see what your score is before it resets. I mean, the only way to really do it, in my opinion, is to record the game. Watch later. You can see exactly what your score was before it reset, or because it resets on a particular level. If you're certain what level you're on, you can just make a note of your score before you get to that kill screen. Now, Ms. Pac-Man is a very weird beast as far as their kill screens go, and it just does very, very weird things when you get to it. I've heard stories about people actually getting playable boards that you can actually play on before it resets a few boards later.
Do you want to go through that real quick? Like there's different weird boards that happen.
Yeah, you get like upside down boards and other weird things. I don't know that much about it actually. I'm just trying to remember what I've heard about it.
There's up to 8 boards.
Yeah, that's right. There's up to I think 7 or 8 or something number of boards you can get before you get to one that's going to reset for sure.
So that's going to be a random thing. What's going to kill you, what's not?
There is some randomness there, I believe, and since I don't have an actual Ms. Pac-Man game, I've only been able to play on MAME. But on MAME, when I was looking at this in MAME, I was just using Rack Advance, basically, and then a fast forward to get to it very
For
quickly.
those who don't have Rack Advance, how does that work? Do you hit a dip switch in the back?
Yeah, there's a dip switch inside the game that will automatically advance the level
Do you have to
from
keep
where
hitting
you
it,
are.
or you just one time? Or?
You can leave it on, and it'll just keep going until you turn it off. Yeah,
How
and
long does it take to get to the 256 on Rack Advance? A couple minutes?
yeah, it's a few minutes on a regular Ms. Pac-Man game. It takes several seconds per board. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a few minutes, I believe.
Why do you think the programmers left that in?
Well, they probably didn't even know about it, to be honest. Ms. Pac-Man is extremely difficult. And they probably never even got that high to even test it, to see that there was a kill screen. Or if they did, they left it in intentionally. I don't know. Something they probably could have tested for, given they have Rack Advance. They could have racked it up to these higher levels to see what happens. But they didn't. Or they left it in as the way it is. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry if we already covered this, but on Ms. Pac-Man, the kill screen is a different board.
Yeah, that's right. It's an earlier board.
Like it's 130. I mean, watching Billy and Chris play was it around 133 or 130? I can't remember, but it was much earlier than the Pac-Man one.
It is much earlier.
Yeah.
142 board at one time.
Oh, 142. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's level 137
Okay.
is when it starts to get weird. And I've forgotten exactly which one it is. Yeah, it's a different problem than Pac-Man has. As I was explaining earlier, the problem lies in a subroutine which draws slowdown bits for the tunnels. And at a high level, it goes nuts because of a programming bug. It was coded wrong, and so it starts to the subroutine goes haywire. And it overwrites bits in a whole bunch of areas of RAM, which just cause weird things to happen, and hence the kill screen in Ms. Pac.
The guy on the right on middle camera.
The guy on the right, Jack Gale.
Jack Gale.
Yeah, I've-
You introduced yourself, I forgot.
It starts
Yeah.
off with the legend of.
Yeah, I wish.
So you were,
Yeah, no,
you were a legendary gamer from the 80s. You went to what is it called?
Captain Video Arcade in January of '85. Yeah,
Oh, that was my arcade.
the original.
That's where I played.
Explain
Yeah.
why you were there, what that event was about.
It was the third annual Twin Galaxies Coronation Day Player of the Year tournament.
You had to be invited.
Yeah, it was invitation only. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Actually, Dwayne was there. Dwayne Richard was there.
Do you remember what games there were that you had played?
It was Karate Champ, Cheyenne Mad Crasher, and Return of the Jedi.
How'd you do?
I actually, it was interesting because most of those games were pretty new. Karate Champ had been out a few months. A lot of us hadn't seen some of the other games before we arrived at the tournament. And Walter asked us before we flew out there just what our scores were on the games, just to get an idea of where everyone stood. And I basically told him, well, I never played this one I haven't played, and like Cheyenne, I think I played for a week or so. And I found a Return of the Jedi a few days before I left, so I played that for 2 days. But Karate Champ, I had a few months, and so I just went crazy on Karate Champ. And on one player, I finished it. But no one else had done that before. So when I arrived in LA and introduced myself to Walter, I'd spoken to him on the phone previously, the previous year, at another tournament, the 84 Masters tournament. I'd never met him in person. So I introduced myself. He said hi, and the next words out of his mouth were, I don't believe you can finish Karate Champ.
Oh, really?
Basically, no, you can't do it. You can't do it.
So you had a strategy.
Yeah. It was to be basically not go crazy and cowboy it on offense. Use some defense and then move in for the kill. And I was able, with the cameras on me and everything. I waited actually till the final day. It was a 2-day tournament. I waited till like the last hour, roughly, of the second day of the tournament to play my game to finish it, because I thought it would be. That's when the camera's there. I thought it would be more dramatic. It was kind of nerve-wracking because if I messed up, I didn't have time to play another game.
No.
So,
You
but
guys aren't hungry right now. You hungry
that's
right
fine.
I can eat.
now? Do you want us to order? Jen's gonna make sure you guys get food.
Yeah, I can eat.
Okay, good. I'm okay.
Hot dogs, pizza, Pizza Hut.
What do you prefer, hot dogs or pizza?
I'm okay.
I'm not really hungry, but when it comes time, pizza would be better than hot dogs. I think.
Pizza?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, just order it. Yeah, we'll have it. We'll have it. Like pepperoni? What do you like?
Pepperoni's good with me.
Yeah, I'm okay. Whatever you guys want. I probably just have one
Are you
slice.
vegetarian?
Yeah, but I
Maybe get one cheese one. Maybe a pepperoni and a cheese.
no, but I'll only have like one slice, one or two. So don't worry about me. I'm okay. Or maybe get half or quarter, whatever. I'm easy. It's no problem. All right. Not usually. Yeah, that's fine. All right, thanks a lot. Yeah.
All right, so the question on the chat is asking if Hodges can explain the Galaga glitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure. And by the way, I'm in the middle of the screen here, those of you watching. So Don Hodges here. Yeah, the Galaga. So just a little bit of background on Galaga. There's a glitch in the game where if you like on the very first I think it actually you can do it on any level, but it's easiest to do it on the very first level of Galaga. If you shoot all the enemies except for the bugs in the lower left corner, actually I think you can use either or both of the bugs in the very left column. I think they're blue. Yeah, and I think first time I did, I just used one bug from the bottom left corner, but I think either one in that column will work. Anyway, you shoot off all the bugs except for those two, or the one on the bottom left, either one or two. I think it goes faster if you leave two on the board, but it's a little more dangerous. Anyway, then you let them fly around for like 10 or 15 minutes.
So they just keep on dropping, and you just let them keep going.
Yep, you let them fly around, you avoid their shots for a period of time, 10, 15 minutes. Eventually, they stop shooting. And when that happens, then you shoot them. And for the whole rest of the game, the aliens, the bugs don't shoot at you anymore, which makes the game extremely easy, in my opinion. And I did that. I was able to get to this kill screen on Galaga.
How long did it take you to figure that out, or did someone tell you?
I read it in a magazine, one of these electronic video game magazines, and for the life of me, I can't figure out who figured that out.
Right.
Who's going to do that? Who's going to leave the bottom left, bug on there for 10 minutes and let them fly around? And I mean, how that was figured out is beyond me. But I think the chat guys want to know why that happens. So, and this is something I didn't look at directly. Someone else did it before me, and as I was saying earlier, this is what kind of this activity got me into this whole thing. What happens is that when the bugs are coming down to attack you, they shoot their missiles at you. Well, it just so happens that if they shoot their missile while they're on the very left side of the screen, they're in like this column 0, as it's called, I think. If they shoot when they're on column 0, then that shot kind of basically there's I think a maximum of 8 positions in memory for these shots to be used. And whenever one is shot from column 0, a shot gets taken out of that slot, but it doesn't get put back in due to a programming bug. So if the bugs fly around long enough, they're going to shoot up all 8 of those slots, and they don't get regenerated when they're shot on column 0. So eventually, there's just no way for them to shoot anymore at you because all the shots in the memory have been used up, and there's just no way for them to get used because there's a bug in the program which causes it to not regenerate those shots when they're shot on column 0. So that's the easy explanation of that. Yeah, that's a fun one.
Have you tested the anniversary games at all? The 20th anniversary game that they brought out, the 25th anniversary. Like one of them, I think it's you can hold down the button and it's like a rapid fire.
Yeah.
Making it, I think, a little bit possibly easier to play. Or have you ever studied those?
Not really. As far as I know, those anniversary editions are using the exact same code. But there's been some modifications, for example, allowing extended games to occur. And there's also this rapid fire thing as well has been put in. But aside from the changes they made deliberately, I don't think there's any other major changes in that.
What do you think about emulation versus original? You compare them against each other for their scores. Some people say emulation's easier, some say it's harder. But what is your opinion?
Well, if the emulator is doing its job, then it's going to be the same. The difference is with the controls. If you have an actual arcade cabinet-style joystick and buttons, then you're going to get a pretty close approximation to the arcade. If you're using the keyboard to control the game, then that's a little bit different.
So would a person have an advantage to using the keyboard?
It's hard to say. They might. But it's only a question of fatigue, I think. And I actually think a joystick would probably be easier than using a keyboard. That's my opinion. But I don't marathon these games, so I don't really know. So what says Don Hodges should examine the point calculation bug on the challenge stages. I'm not aware of that. Is there a
bug?
Somebody's saying there's a point calculation bug on the challenge stages. Can someone explain that to me? Because I'm not aware of that. I'll try to watch the chat to see if there's something more about that.
Does everybody still have all their men, all their lives, it looks like?
Yeah, it looks like they've settled into a pretty nice groove here.
See, 10 score is getting a lot higher than Abner's.
Oh, as predicted, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
So which game was more popular, Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man?
I don't know. They were both very popular. As far as which one was more popular, I couldn't say. Maybe someone else knows on the chat. So the guy at Zaz Kag is saying you get 300 instead of 400 when you kill the final Galaga boss enemy. Requires 2 shots. 300 instead of 400. Okay, Zaz Kag, I'll see if I can remember that and look into it. If you go to my website and email me, you could email me the details of that, and I'll be sure to look at it if you email it to me. That way I'll remember, and I'll know what to look for. My website is donhodges.com. Or you can find me on Facebook, Donald B. Hodges.
How long have you been programming for?
Well, I learned programming when I was in 6th grade. I would have been about 12 years old, about 1982. I remember my elementary school took me to a either junior high or a high school one Saturday morning, and they taught us how to program in BASIC, and I got hooked. So shortly after, I got a Commodore VIC-20, and then I got a Commodore 64, and I did a lot of programming on the Commodore 64. Actually, it's funny, I actually wrote a port of Pac-Man for the VIC-20 that I played, but I only made Pac-Man move around and the maze, but I didn't make any ghosts. I got lazy and didn't program ghosts that would chase you. So I did a lot of hacking on the Commodore 64, and I did some programming on it. I actually ported Tetris to the Commodore 64 using BASIC and some assembly language. So I learned assembly language on the Commodore 64, which helps a lot because the assembly language from a 6502 CPU is actually quite similar to the Z80, which a lot of these games use. And then I majored in computer science in college and learned other languages there. I don't really do it much anymore, except to do these game analyses, which I haven't done a whole lot of lately. There hasn't been a big need. I think a lot of the ones that I've been curious about I've already gotten into.
Well, Paul, did you ever have any interest in Pac-Man or Ms. Pac-Man, just casually, or
Just for fun.
did you ever try to learn the patterns at all, or anything like that?
No, I don't play the pattern games.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. So, speaking of patterns, what was the longest you played a game?
I had a habit of not timing myself. I just kind of roughly, I'd look at the clock and just, I probably played between 10 and 15 hours, over 100 times, various games. Nothing since the 80s.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that. Probably the one I marathoned the most was Gauntlet.
So, Gauntlet one player?
Yeah, Gauntlet one player. To the best of my knowledge, I was the first person to marathon Gauntlet, although a lot of people think they're the first person to marathon.
Run out of food, you're done,
Right, yeah, because you have to be, try not to get hit by anything. And when the game first came out, everyone was cowboying everything and just running in wild and on Gauntlet. And I actually would just sit there and try to not get hit by anything, and people thought I was crazy. The clock's ticking. But and I called around. I was calling people I knew in Canada and California, and no one believed that I could marathon Gauntlet. They said, no, you're not starting at 600 health. You're, whatever. So maybe I was. I don't know. But
so Elf was your character?
I started with the Wizard, and then when I got, I wanted to get better, improve, go faster, I used the Elf. Because you can go fast. The Elf, of course, is quicker. But the Wizard is easy. In my opinion, the Wizard's the easiest one to marathon with. But the Elf, it takes a little more skill, but it's a quicker 10 million, or can't remember the exact scores. But
you never get caught. What was the black guy called? The black one who's
Death?
Death. You ever got caught by Death? 3 or 4 deaths come and trap you?
I don't even. I hate to admit it, but I don't even remember that much detail. I haven't played it since. Yeah, it's just. You'd build up so much health that, I mean, it was kind of. You could almost, you're not supposed to take more than 5 minutes an hour, by tournament rules, or Guinness rules of a break.
All the stages, were there 99 stages?
Yeah, I can't remember all the details
and then they
now,
reverse or something.
But they would be. I think the first 8 or so were the same, and then it became random. And if you got enough difficult random ones at first, it was a lot more challenging to get through. That's what I remember. But there were a lot of games. When I got the Tapper record, I didn't time the game, but I estimated it by asking people around the arcade that it was. I got 5 million. It was about, we're guessing, 8.5 hours. But Tapper's kind of a hectic game to play. Some guys got. Then someone beat my score with 9 million. It may have been Mike Ward, who was actually sponsored by Budweiser at the time. And then, I'm sorry I don't remember all the names. Then someone else beat him. Yes, I know that name. Yeah. I know the name. Yeah.
Early 80s, you probably played then.
Yeah, to play Tapper up to 9 million, that's just, it must just, your eyes, because we were playing late last night. We were playing, not Tapper, but other games, and my eyes are still kind of blurry from that. So, I mean, to play Tapper for For playing asteroid, I played marathons on asteroids, and that for some reason that would just get my wrist. My wrist would lock up.
How many hours did you play?
I don't remember honestly, but you could build up without sitting there shooting spaceships, shooting rocks, just finishing the rocks, immediately getting the next board, the asteroids. Not just sitting there picking off ships. That was too easy, but just the. I don't know. I was never at world. I never went for the marathon world record on that game, but I admire the people who have, because that's pretty rough on the body. I mean, wow.
You ever played Asteroids Deluxe?
I did, but I just never got into it like asteroids.
It's too hard.
Tough game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's more like some follow-ups games I like better, like Stargate. I really like.
Yeah.
Defender was another one I could play for a while. Of course, that one you stop getting extra ships after a while, but yeah.
You ever play Robotron?
Yeah, Robotron I could marathon. Actually Dwayne and Abner were playing Robotron last night, and it looked like they could have played a lot longer than they did, but they may have just stopped. I tried playing Robotron. I'm not near the level I was back in the 80s, because I haven't been playing it. But those guys look like they're still in top form or near top form.
Yeah, Abner had the world record, I believe, in 2005.
Oh, really? On Robotron?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long that held, but.
Was that the marathon record, or was that the 5 life record?
800 and something thousand.
Oh, that was probably on. I would guess what's it, 5 lives or something.
5 lives.
Because otherwise, you can just keep playing and playing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, he looked pretty good last night on Robotron. So did Dwayne. Give them both credit. You're looking good. And Joust was another one. Play a while. Play for a long time.
Pterodactyl trick?
Oh, the pterodactyl trick. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, that we do that for kicks sometimes. Sometimes we'd play a legitimate game. Sometimes we just do that for kicks. But yeah, I did the pterodactyl trick and got what was the high score? 9,999,000, something like that. Yeah, just because someone else was trying to do it, so I had to beat them to it. So.
I think you can, in the highest score table, you can put like a whole sentence or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's kind of dangerous for arcades because what's going to be. Stargate was that way.
Yeah.
I believe. Stargate, you could have more than 3 letters. Oh. Any more than 3 letters, you're asking for trouble.
Something can happen.
But yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them from back in the day. I mean, there were games. I remember Tron was another one. I'd play a lot, and there was a secret spot you could rest in Tron. They could put your character.
Right, in the maze one.
The maze one,
If you get the recognizers.
So
and they don't shoot at you, so you could hide in the corner.
Right, and that wasn't for any competition score or anything. That was just you're just playing casually. Kind of like Gauntlet. I mean, you could build up so much health, you could walk away for an hour or so and come back. But we were just doing that, Those were just games for fun.
Yeah.
And trying to think of. Cubert's Cubes is actually a game. I said.
That's the sequel, right? To Cubert.
Cubert, yeah, Cubert. I really liked.
Warren Davis. Made that one.
Warren Davis and Doris Self, the late Doris Self, if you remember. She was a great Cubert player.
One of the few women to have a world record back in the 80s.
Yeah. I had the privilege of meeting her. She's from South Florida.
Oh.
And
she was trying to get back into shape, later on in life. That was interesting.
Yeah. She was a great person. She was a nice person to be around.
Even I think she flew to London for a competition.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She was popular. Yeah, she was. You didn't think of her as being but she was older in age, but she was just energetic and the life of the party.
Sure.
She was great. So Cubert. So anyway, talk about Cubert's Cubes. I was at the original Grand Prix Racerama in Fort Lauderdale years ago, in the probably mid '80s, and I started a game of Cubert's Cubes, and I believe it was late morning, and Steve Harris was there. He was watching me for a few hours, and then he left, and I was playing, you know, I was right by the doors, the main doors. I was just playing and playing, not really thinking much about it. And this place got thousands of people on a Saturday night, which was Saturday. So the crowds would ebb and flow, and it was light, it was getting dark, and then it was getting noisy, and I'm thinking, I didn't know what time it was. I wasn't really paying attention. Then Steve came back in the evening, and I was still playing at the same game. And this is an arcade that had thousands of games. So this one just happened to be right by the door, which was like the Grand Central Station. So Steve said, is this the same game? And my score was way up there. So he ended up watching the rest of my game. And I ended up quitting. I tried to get all ones. It was like 11,111,000. But I messed up. It was like 130 or something like that.
How many hours were approximately?
I started, what I remember was late morning, and I ended, it was I think 1 or 2 in the morning. I may be an hour or two off there, but anyway, somehow the score never got. It's one of those scores that never made it through the process.
Right.
It was submitted and went in, but didn't get. But
Was it on one of the Guinness contests, or was it?
no, it wasn't. It was just it was just a regular day at Grand Prix Racerama. Yeah, it was. But the score, I never got full credit for it. But the fact that Steve Harris saw the score was kind of satisfying to me, because at least it's verified. So, but yeah, that was quite a marathon. It's easier to marathon a game when there's lots of people and lots of energy, and
yeah.
people flowing in and out, rather than just being, that was probably the strangest marathon game I ever played, just because of the thousands of people walking in and out. And this was a 24-hour arcade.
Wow.
So
They couldn't marathon and they had to
yeah.
worry about leaving.
Yeah, and people were actually bumping into me, because I was near the door, and then I had a crowd watching me, and once the crowd formed, then people weren't bumping into me anymore, because the crowd watching me kind of formed a wall.
They did.
Yeah, so it was kind of nice then. I didn't have to, but I was really hungry, and then you get to the point where if you go too long without eating, you just can't eat. You kind of get a stomach ache, and you just don't want to eat. You just you just play, and you just need water or something, and that was one of those. That's the price we pay for playing. Like these guys here, they're not thinking about anything other than playing the game. They don't care if they eat, drink.
Well, it's harder for these guys. They're older now, right? You're talking about the 80s.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah. We're talking. I don't know. Yeah, my first Guinness record, I was 18. Probably the first record I set, I may have been 15, but those were records that never made it through, never got fully. I didn't get credit for it, basically.
Yeah.
But nothing was going to stop me. See, a lot of people they get discouraged, and they submit records and they don't get recognized. They don't go all the way through the process and make it into magazine or book. But I love playing so much that I just kept playing, and nothing was going to stop me. I just wanted to play games. I wanted to get my initials on all the games in the arcade, which of course I didn't do, but
did you have competition? Some competition?
Oh yeah, and that was really helpful, because for example, Missile Command. Missile Command came out when I think I was 12 or 13 years old, and I was better than everyone, I thought. Then this guy came in who was about 27 years old, and he was better than me, and it made me better.
Right.
I never caught him. But and I was convincing him to submit his scores.
You knew who he was. You seen him come in?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Really, really, really good player, and he knew me. But it was funny because he was this grown guy, big guy, and I'm this. When I was 12 years old, I was about 4'9".
Yeah.
So, and I'm 5'9" now. So, yeah. And this big trackball and everything, and people were wondering, how do you play that? you're just a little kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it actually helps to have someone better than you. I would think that, say, Billy watching this, he sees these other people playing Pac-Man. It's going to make him want to play. Otherwise, it's like, okay, I've been there, I've done that. It's a goal, I've already accomplished. Like my Zookeeper score. I had the Zookeeper record for about 17 or 18 years, and it finally got beaten. And it made me think about playing again. And I played it on, then I don't have any machines at home, so I played it on MAME, which is a very useful thing to have. I played for maybe a week or two and then quit. But then this resurgence in Zookeeper, interest in Zookeeper, just in the last, year or so, it seems, has got me more interested. So now I've started playing a bit more again. So something like this, you never know. And Ms. Pac-Man,
well, speaking of Zookeeper, it's all about the big jumps, right?
It's about the big jumps are critical, but consistency is critical, because you're not going to get the record without consistency. You have to be consistent. Let the jumps come, but you have to be consistent. If you're consistent enough and can play long enough, the jumps will come. But if you focus too much on jumps, that's the trap. That'll end a good game. Yeah. Of course, it's easier said than done.
Right.
But that at least that's my 2 cents. That would be my advice to anyone.
Right.
And there's been some great players. Greg Bond, the Crams. They came along, did fantastic job.
That's the Fun Spot crew.
Crew. They came up with their own strategies. I spoke to Greg a bunch of times back, maybe 03, I guess, around then, about
Did you get Mappy, or which did he play Mappy?
I think he's Mappy. That one I'm not as familiar. But Zookeeper, he's a superb Zookeeper player. Yeah, and they came up with their own strategy, their own way of playing, and they were getting close to my record. And I told them, keep playing, you're going to get the record. Just keep playing, you're going to get it. And sure enough, someone got it. And now you have, my score was 20 million. Someone, I believe, got 23. And then there was a low 30s. And now there's a low 60s. Someone, and I believe there was a 30 million point jump.
Right.
In that game. The highest jump I've ever gotten on Zookeeper is 4 million points. Last night I played, I got a 2 million. I got a few millions in I played maybe 90 minutes worth of Zookeeper. I've never gotten more than a 4 million. Eventually, I'm sure it'll come if I play enough, but as you brought up, it's the jumps. You can't focus on the jumps. You have to focus on longevity and being consistent, and you will get, you will get the jumps.
Now this game is, they figured out a way to make it like a marathon track. What do you think about that, where you can get past the split screen?
I think it's a good option to have. I think you should keep both. You have the original traditional style. The purists, of course, are going to hate this. But because we know that it's already been done and it's limited, and there's no other way to improve the score with the traditional Pac-Man, create something else for fun.
I think it may renew the interest in the game.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt. And some people don't like marathons. That's fine. This, I guess, would be more of a marathon sort of deal, but at least have that option, for the people who want to play. Just to stay focused long enough to marathon this game, that's a challenge in and of itself.
I'm wondering what happens if there are hand cramps up. You just have to bear it?
Well, they have a better ninth key pattern than I had. I had to have my own. I had to be creative and have my own pattern. And it wasn't conducive to a marathon.
Okay.
theirs, they'll last longer. However, if you're just too slow turning a corner, that's it. I mean, that could be it.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't make one single mistake on your pattern.
Right, and you don't want to make the mistake I made years ago in that competition where I missed out winning an arcade game. It was for someone who just tuned in. There was a competition at a skating rink where they gave away an arcade game to the winner on a Pac-Man machine, and I was a heavy favorite, but I lost the competition because the night before I practiced too much, and the day of the competition my wrist was shot. And I couldn't make the turns that I needed to make. So, I would say if you're going to play Pac-Man for the marathon record, if that were possible, you would have to probably really take it easy for at least a week before the actual competition.
Well, potentially that's what this event is. I mean, if you can get past the split screen, and if you can keep your pattern, you can play forever. I mean,
right.
Until you can't play anymore.
Right. So if that's the case, it's going to come down to conditioning. I mean, you're going to have people who have the capability of, executing the patterns, getting to a regular kill screen, which is no small feat. But do they have the conditioning to? It's like running a marathon.
Yeah.
You could run a 5,000 meter race, or you could run a marathon. There's no shame in running a marathon. Why should there be any shame in running, marathoning a Pac-Man? Again, the purists are going to hate it, which is fine. But I mean, that's just one way of looking at it. But we're going to find out who's in the best condition. Tonight. Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Looks like Tim will be breaking 1 million before too much longer.
Yeah.
And based on Ambner's score, he's probably about halfway to the kill screen. I'm going to guess. Don Hays, I think, is going for a perfect score.
Yeah.
I'm not certain. I can't watch him the whole time.
Right. Maybe someone could write in if he missed anything. We know that Dwayne missed. I know he missed at least 1,600 points on a Blue Ghost earlier, but
yeah, I know Dwayne's actually missed a few ghosts. I saw him miss some earlier.
Oh, but if it's a marathon, that brings up a whole new issue now too. If you could marathon Pac-Man, is there any need to group the monsters or just do what say Tim's doing here and go for speed?
Right. Do you go for?
Because look at the time they've spent playing already, and look at the scores.
Well, Tim's got the big score.
Right. So if you're marathoning and you're running out of gas, or your arm's about to fall off, you're going to want as many points as fast as possible, I would think.
Right. So when scores are tracked, that's all that matters. Time doesn't matter. It's based on the score. So the highest score wins. So of course you're going to pick the way that gives you the highest score the fastest.
Right. Right. Yeah. So then you get into the argument of it takes skill to group the monsters and get the 1,600 every time. So if you take that away, people might argue that it's making Pac-Man a bit of a lower skill game. So maybe, well, I don't know. We come up with someone will have to come up with some rules to keep it legit.
It'll just be a different track,
Yeah. Yeah, though maybe they can be a marathon record for just straight marathon, and then another record for the perfect score.
Yeah, well,
marathon.
that's basically what they're doing today.
Right.
They're opening up a new track.
Right.
So this one won't be compared directly against like Billy Mitchell's score or the other.
Oh, of course not. It can't.
Scores. Yeah.
You can't.
So
Yeah. It's not the same thing.
Whole new track.
It's apples and oranges. Yeah. Yeah. It looks. Did Dwayne lose a life?
Looks like he did.
Yeah, they mentioned the $10,000 Billy Mitchell prize. He said if anybody could, prove in front of him that they could get past the split screen, to give him $10,000.
Of course, that would be with all the original
hardware.
Yeah.
The hardware.
And that was just I think that was a 12-month thing, but 1 year
Oh yeah.
challenge, and nobody took him up
Bounty.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible.
They're talking about my Video Craze movie. Yeah, I've put my classic games in different places. You run out of space, and so you have to make new friends and put your games in their houses. So that's what I've done.
Yeah.
So I've got 8 games at one friend's house, 10 at another's. So that's how you make space. It's pretty crazy. But collecting can become something that it becomes a lot of fun and addictive. So you never want to stop. You always want to get that Holy Grail game, and
right,
or the game that's a little bit higher quality. So it's fun to collect the classic video games.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever collected games, or what's the most you've ever had at your house?
Well, I have a very small. I have a small condo.
Okay.
So and it's there's no space for the arcade. Trying to adjust a microphone issue.
It looks like Abner died.
Abner died,
Really?
so
It looks like.
he's got 3 guys left.
But that shouldn't be an issue with Ms. Pac-Man, right?
It's not going to be an issue for his score, assuming he gets to the kill screen.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt him.
Okay.
Not in this stage. An earlier stage. Well, I'm thinking about it. No, it wouldn't matter on the earlier one either. Well, no, what I'm just thinking if he died, like while ghosts were blue, he would lose out on eating some ghosts.
Oh, of course.
Like
That
if he
would
eat like a
be
ghost and then he
disaster.
regenerates
Yeah.
back in the ghost house right
Yeah.
away and then kills them,
Yeah.
then that could cost him points. But at this
Yeah.
stage in the game, it won't.
Yeah, if Billy or Chris ever missed a ghost, that would be their game. They would just quit and start over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
They
were
were
perfect, but
And they didn't miss. I never saw. I don't think I ever saw them miss, but they. Yeah.
here's something. So you mentioned Steve Harris earlier.
Right.
Were you guys friends, or how did you know him?
I met him in June of '84 in person. I may have spoken with him before that, but I met him in '84. He came out. That's when I met. Actually, I met he and Steve and Billy Mitchell at the same time at Cloverleaf Arcade.
Florida.
Yes, they had come in for it was the 1985 Player of the Year, 1985 Masters Tournament to get in the 1985 Guinness Book of Records. That's the one with Michael Jackson on the cover.
Michael Jackson.
On the paperback version. And in the U.S. version. Because the scores were printed in the U.S. version. And I met them, and I said, hey, I introduced myself and everything. They said, oh, we know who you are. Your initials are on almost all the games in the arcade. So, that made me feel a lot better.
Right.
So, but I said, well, if I don't get a record, it doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. So, I played a bunch of games, and I don't know. I just wasn't having that much luck. And then I just got on Tapper and, just got into a groove and kept playing and playing. Mm-hmm. And then there was someone. There was an issue with Tappers. I don't remember all the details, so I don't mean to get into it, but just for full disclosure. There was an issue with certain Tappers machines. We found out later that you would set them to a certain setting, but they would still stay on factory. Mm-hmm. So somebody, I believe it was in North Carolina, an excellent player, couldn't understand why I got such a high score on Tapper. He said, you can't marathon it. You can't marathon it. So on the skidding. So Billy would talk to him on the phone, And then he would talk to Walter, because Walter wasn't in Miami, only Billy and Steve Harris. And then he'd run back to the tapper machine and check all the settings and do this and that. Then he'd go back to the phone.
So he's checking it as you were playing.
Well, this was after I played.
After you played.
To check
see
the
what's
settings.
wrong with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
to check.
anything.
Right. So then he would go back to the phone. He'd talk to Walter and go back and check again. Then he would talk to the gentleman in North Carolina, and who was an excellent tapper player. I think he had played on Good Morning America or some show, and someone kicked the cord, and you know. So I'm thinking, boy, I really hope everything is right here, because if you had a record going on TV and someone kicked the cord, and now something else happened to the poor guy. So I told Bill, I said, just please, check everything. I'm just playing the game that's here. So he checked it again, and all weekend he kept going back and checking it, because there were phone calls coming in, and they never found anything wrong with it, and said, no, but it was curious, because I get this record, and then all of a sudden they're saying, well, no, this can't. And I said, just let me know, like I said. And I was playing other stuff. I wasn't worrying about it.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then I believe, I don't know if the record lasted a year or 2 years, and then I believe it was Mike Ward from Wisconsin who got the 9 million, the first 9 million. Then someone else beat him, as you mentioned, but. Yeah, that's where I met Steve, and then after that, Steve came to South Florida a lot, so we met a lot of times. Just over the years, we'd play games. He would keep me up to date on his newsletters.
Yeah.
He was writing in magazine. He was nice. He would send me complimentary newsletters, the early versions of EGM. I think it was the APA newsletter.
Right.
And
so in '86, I guess they bought out Walter, Dave, and they were.
I don't know all those technical
all those
deals.
scores,
Has someone written a book on this? But I would buy it.
I have not seen it. A book on that.
Yeah. I don't know. There's strange things happened in the '80s, because let's see, in June of '87, we had the 1988 Masters tournament for the Guinness Book, but then the Guinness Book didn't publish all the scores.
No.
So and then many of those scores got lost, including some of mine. And the only one I remember was the Karate Champ one. And years later, thanks to the help of Mark Alpiger, who basically pleaded on my behalf, my Karate Champ score from '87 was recognized about, I don't know, maybe 20 years later. Because they actually had, and in all fairness to Walter was, he was doing everything he could. He was breaking his back. His scores got lost. He was working for pennies. He did everything he could, and somebody found the records from the Bally's Aladdin's Castle and found my score on there that had been recorded. So then Mark Alpiger picked up the ball and spoke to Walter.
Pick up the high score on that one, on Tim's. So he's rolled
nice.
it.
He just turned it over?
Yeah.
Look, he's going in the parking spot.
Yeah, he's just turned it. Nice.
He flipped the score.
Yeah.
So now he's taking a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a parking spot, one of the parking spots you spoke of, right?
Yeah, I think you can do it on either side, right above where you start there. I think the right side is safer, but I'm not sure.
Right. Now, I remember the old tournament rules were you got 5 minutes per hour of break time.
Right.
And you could build that up to an hour.
Yeah.
So
you could stack them up.
Yeah, right. So it's not illegal to take a bit of a break like that. But again, just one last shout out to Mark Alpiger for helping me out, getting my Karate Champ score recognized. I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Without that score would have been lost forever.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm a little too cavalier about the scores. It's like, oh, well, I'll just play. I'll just keep playing. I'll play something else. Right. I know I got this score, but that was pretty cool of him to do that. So Tim, nice. Also, there's 995, I believe, 960. So that means he probably picked up a key. As you
Probably, yeah,
alluded
right
to
as he
before.
rolled it.
Right,
Yeah, it's the
go
only
over.
way to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Nice.
Good chance for a restroom break if you were playing this game for hours.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is great. Yeah. You can't do that on. I'm trying to. What's a game that you just can't get away with anything? Walking away for a second.
Defender.
Defender. Yeah. But yeah. You stop getting ships, don't you? If I recall. I actually played Defender at the 09, the Twin Galaxies, in Iowa, in Ottumwa. They had a, what was it, International Video Game Hall of Fame inauguration event in 09. And they had a Defender, and I figured for kicks I'd play, and I actually was able to
That
get
was
it.
the Iowa event. Is that
Yeah,
Iowa?
in Ottumwa. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to get up to 999, turnover Defender, which kind of surprised me because it'd been a while.
So what do you think about them wanting to have a Hall of Fame in Ottumwa?
But I love it. Mm-hmm. I'd love it. It'd be nice if it could get pulled off. A lot of people have invested a lot of time into it. It's not just some casual idea that's come up. I think the trading cards have helped immensely for historical purposes. I think you just have to keep moving forward. It's not an easy thing to pull off, but Ottumwa would seem to be a natural spot for that. But you just have to wait till it's the right idea, but sometimes the right idea isn't always at the perfect time.
Do you think that being such a small city that would hurt it because it's not really a tourist destination?
Well, I don't know. I believe the Pro Football Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. I'm not sure how big of I don't know the Midwest so well as Canton. To me, doesn't
I don't know the size.
Seem like it. Yeah. It may not be the size of Ottumwa, but there may be examples people know that of smaller towns that do have. The American Gothic House, the famous American Gothic House from the painting, the Grant painting, is between Ottumwa and Fairfield. So you could argue that it would be a natural, since that's a major tourist attraction, why not have the Video Game Hall of Fame?
What was it, Radar O'Reilly was born in Ottumwa?
Yeah, Radar O'Reilly was born in Ottumwa. Yeah. Tom Arnold was born in Ottumwa. And Tom Arnold holds the record. There's this eatery near the old Twin Galaxies Arcade. It's basically in this alleyway under a parking structure.
Right.
Oh, I wish I remembered the name of it. But they have this beef. This is the Midwest, so they know how to make beef. And they have these beef sandwiches, like loose beef.
Yeah.
I forget the exact name of it. And Tom Arnold has a world record for eating, what do you call it, speed eating these sandwiches. Of course, Billy, being Billy, we all, it was either 09 or I think, it was back in 09.
Yeah.
We, Walter, myself, Billy, I'm trying to think of the other.
Steve Sanders?
Steve Sanders, and there was a guy from Florida. Oh, shoot. I can't think of his name.
What game
right
is he
now.
good at? Maybe I know him.
It's the ponytail big guy.
Todd Rogers.
Todd Rogers.
Yeah, Todd Rogers.
We go to this little place. It's very famous, by the way. And Billy wants to break Tom Arnold's record for eating these sandwiches. Yeah. And they're greasy meat. Right. It smells wonderful. Right. But greasy meat. And I said, Billy, you're not going to be able to play anything the rest of the day.
Right.
Or you're not going to want to do anything the rest. This is lunchtime.
Right.
If you eat these.
Yeah.
And but if you want to, go ahead. Have fun. You're out here to have fun. Have fun. So of course, and he did I don't know how many he put down, but he wasn't too far off the record. But he was saying he'd have to wait about half hour, 45 minutes before he had his next one, and then another. So he basically ran out of time, and he went back and was kind of he lumbered back to the arcade.
You know, did you see? Billy's pretty good at arm wrestling. I wouldn't want to go against him.
You mean the video game arm
Billy
wrestling
Mitchell.
or
Billy Mitchell.
the
No, the real
arm wrestling?
He started challenging everybody.
Okay,
He's
I'm
tough.
not. Yeah, there's a guy a gamer from Canada, who's a competitive arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I forget.
Is Greg or something?
It might be.
He's
Sikundiak?
He was supposed to be here. Yeah, he's supposed to be here.
Okay. Yeah. I was kind of casually into that. There's a lot of technique involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technique. But that was another arcade game that I was one of my Punch Out, Super Punch Out, arm wrestling were 3 big ones for me. Those were another 3.
Yeah.
But the real arm wrestling, if somebody knows nothing about arm wrestling, I'll beat them. But guys who have the technique and the strength, no.
So Punch Out,
not
I mean,
gonna
I see
happen.
people play that for hours. How did you do on Punch Out?
I could play that for, I can't remember my scores, but I would play that for excessively long periods of time.
Yeah.
Because it really didn't get harder after a certain point.
Yeah.
You just had to get consistent. You had to be consistent. But Punch Out's a fun game. It's unique. You have the 2 screens, and it was just at the time it was so unique. It's just, for me, it was a novelty. It was fun to play, and we are also another reason to marathon that is you're always going for records, going for speed records. Oh, we got pizza here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd go for speed records to see how fast we could knock someone out. So there was always a challenge, even when you were marathoning a game. So, but yeah, Punch Out's a lot of fun.
Were there any other games you played for speed like that besides Punch Out?
Super Punch Out. I think Super Punch Out actually kept the records, the speed records of how fast the knockouts were. So that was good. Arm wrestling, I don't remember quite as much, but yeah, I'm trying to other speed. Well, Gauntlet. Gauntlet was one that once I got really good at, I was just all of it. Then I was going for speed to see how fast I could get to 10 million.
Would it mess you up if other players wanted to join in? Because Gauntlet was a 4-player game.
Oh yeah, no one could join in when I was playing. When I was marathoning a game, no one. I don't think anyone ever asked.
Sometimes they just put in a quarter. Remember the old days?
Yeah. It's funny though.
didn't
You're right. Yeah, or they'd put a quarter on top of the game to be
I'm
next in line, which is perfectly legit, but is
but they'll never be next because you never died.
Yeah. Well, what I did was, and that's an excellent question. I didn't play that at arcades. It just had one Gauntlet. I went to Grand Prix Racerama, which at one time actually had about 30 or 40 of them. That's I think the most of any game they ever had at any time. They just had Gauntlets all the way down because they had
How many did you
over
see in
1,000
there?
games.
How many gauntlets were in there?
About 30 or 40,
That's
I would
a lot
say.
of gauntlets. I've never seen that many gauntlets.
Yeah. If I'm wrong and someone remembers back then, but it had to be. Oh, it had to be
That's
at
a
least
major
30.
expense.
It had to be at least 30.
$3,000 a piece. Maybe?
Oh yeah. They didn't worry. There was no expense, no worries about expense at that place. It was very unique. So I'd play there, and there were no issues. There was always other machines for people to play.
And if you wanted to take a break or stop, you could because you had so much food. Your health.
You could, but then you risk someone going on to your game unless you had someone to watch it. So I would. It was extremely. Sometimes I'd have someone watch the game so I could run to the restroom.
Yeah.
But usually not.
I noticed if you wait a certain amount of time, all the exits open up.
Oh yes, yeah.
How many
I
minutes
forgot
is
about
that,
it.
or how does
I forget how
you
long.
Use that to your advantage, or no? You didn't need it?
You can. That's a good strategy if you're in a really difficult spot and you just sit it out.
Yeah.
Once you get to the point where you've been playing for hours and hours and hours, if you're a good player, you have so much health built up it doesn't matter. There's no way to die off. There's just no way. Because you just build up ridiculous amounts of health. And it's almost like building up ships on asteroids, or you can name the game. There's no way to die off. So unless you want it, you eventually have to kill it off.
Did you meet other people that had your skill in that game?
Eventually, there were people who could marathon it, and now I know there's lots of people.
Or
who
were
can
they learning
marathon
your
Gauntlet.
techniques, or they learned it on their own?
Well, it's basically it wasn't a pattern or anything. It was just like It's kind of a
Don't get shot.
technique strategy. Yeah, you can't. Well, at least early on, you can't just go in there and cowboy and start shooting and running into things. You'll just run out of health too quickly. So once people have the discipline to sit back and shoot things, and once you got past a certain point and had so much health, it was, well, if you had the skill, it was very difficult. You couldn't die. You basically couldn't lose your game. So Gauntlet was probably the most relaxed marathon game I ever played.
It's very relaxing.
Yeah, there was no
I can
pressure
imagine
whatsoever.
some kid putting up a quarter, and like 3 hours later, he's still behind you waiting for his turn.
Well, people would watch, of course. You know, people would watch. They wouldn't put so much a coin. You know, it's trying to be funny, but yeah, you know, they put the coin up and then they get mesmerized. Yeah. No, I wouldn't do, like I said, I wouldn't do that at an arcade where they just had one machine.
Yeah.
And also, if it were a, say, Friday or Saturday night, the arcade manager would tap you on the shoulder and say, don't do this next weekend. You're losing too much money.
You were killing the profit margin.
Yeah. Oh, they would. They
actually, you ever been kicked out of an arcade because of that? Because you're too good?
I didn't get kicked out of an arcade because I was playing a game too long.
Yeah.
I won't get into. When we were teenagers, we sometimes did. You know, teenagers are teenagers,
Sure.
and sometimes we would maybe kick a machine or
it happens.
Or in the case of Billy, pick it up and slam it up against the wall.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I could see how he would be good at arm wrestling if he had the technique.
Yeah. Happened to me once.
Did
it?
Well, I was I used to play Pac-Man at a liquor store down the street from my house.
Yeah.
And one day while I was playing, I realized by accident that if I jammed my knee into the coin slot, it would give me a free credit.
Ah. That's a good finding.
Yeah. So one day, and I think the manager of the store found out about this, and so he was watching me one day while I was playing.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit cocky.
Yeah.
And so what I did was right as this exact moment I was eating a fruit, I bumped my knee into the thing, and you know the sound for putting a credit in is similar to the sound of eating a fruit. They're not the same, but they're very similar.
Right.
And he saw me do that, and he kicked me out.
He kicked you out.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's a pretty clever technique.
Yeah.
So you would wait till the sound came on to try to mask the sound of the credit.
Right as I was eating a fruit, I
But
kneed
he was
it.
watching you.
Yeah, and he was right behind me, and he saw what I did, and he kicked me out.
How long did you get away with that?
Not very long.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. It was so long ago. Maybe a few weeks.
Okay. Well.
You ever make money off of video games? Like you challenge somebody, or you sell off your game, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, the closest I came to making real money was there was a game. It wasn't even a real video game. It was called Skill Bingo, where there was this bingo reel number reel with all these numbers that flapped around really quick. And it was a skill game. There was no luck involved. It wasn't digital. It was an actual. And the numbers would go super fast, but I learned the order of the numbers. I actually memorized the exact order of all the numbers on the reel. So I would time, there was a button to stop, and it would never stop on the one you pressed. It would stop a few later. But I got the timing down so well that I was able to win more than I lost.
Yeah.
And at first, and this was another one at Grand Prix Racerama, you would win tokens.
Oh, good.
And and depending on how fast you got bingo or what have you, you would win more tokens. So I realized right away that I could get even a little more consistent, win even more, but I would have to kind of keep this low key because if they caught on to it,
you're done.
They're gonna. Well, I wasn't cheating. I was playing fully legit.
beating the game.
But they're either going to take the game out or do something. So I was able to mask what I was doing for long enough that I won. I counted, and I did keep track. It was about 18,000 tokens.
That's a lot.
Profit, which is about $4,500. So, and that was in 2 or 3 months. So I won about $4,500 worth of tokens. And then someone from admin saw me playing and thought I was, stealing from the machine. And the coins would fall from the top, so I'd put my hand up top to catch them because they made too much noise.
Yeah.
It's like a slot, one of the old slot machines where coins came out.
Yeah.
So she thought I was doing something up there to get the coin. And I said, no, watch me. I'm really winning.
Yeah.
So I played with her watching, and what I did was I kind of dumbed my game down a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't do quite as well as I normally did, but showed her that I can win.
Yeah.
So I said, see, and said, oh boy, I didn't know anyone could do that.
Yeah.
About a week later,
It took it out.
well, it wasn't quite that bad. They put tickets in there.
Oh, it's
So
tokens.
instead of tokens. So like a month later, I had my car filled with these stuffed animals that you could trade the tickets in for. That's all I had. But I had my fun while it lasted, and I had those tokens.
Yeah.
And those tokens lasted me for years.
Really?
Yeah.
So you played for free for years?
Yeah, many years. Yeah. So, and it was legit. I mean, it was fully legit.
No.
And other guys were watching me, like Jason Bayer, the late Jason Bayer. He was a great player. Billy was friends with him back in Fort Lauderdale area, Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
And he was, I mean, this guy, he was mappy. He played mappy, flicky. He was good at a lot of stuff. Really, really good. Just barely missed getting in the Guinness Book by a hair. And he couldn't believe what I was doing on that bingo game. And I tried to show him what to do, and he just walked away. He wasn't interested in it. And so I was actually trying to show other people. After I had won a few thousand, I said, "Hey, you want to
try?
You want to give this a try?"
Right.
Oh, no.
Well, there were several ways to trick a coin mech. Did you ever see people stringing a quarter?
Yeah, I heard about. I never saw it, but I heard about it.
Drill
I never
a hole
did
on
it.
the top of a quarter. They get like a fishing line, and they go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, I didn't do that because I felt, I mean, just in my case,
Well, it's illegal.
Yeah. Well, it's wrong. But when you're kids, you do dumb things.
Yeah.
When you're teenagers, you do things you wouldn't do now. Well, some people still would, but we've done a lot of dumb things when we were teenagers.
I didn't do that. They did when they would break the bottom part, the flapper, and they would flip a penny into the coin thing from the backside. So
really?
It hits the switch in the back.
Oh,
that
that's
would give you a
interesting.
credit. So
Okay.
the operators would find all these pennies in their cash box.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard the previous technique, but I don't know if I heard. I knew that one. But I will admit though that I did use the worst I did. I did use some of those Grand Prix tokens I won.
Dwayne's walking away.
Abner has 2 lives.
Dwayne Richard is.
Is he?
Oh, Dwayne's down to 1. His final
he's
life.
He's had it.
Oh,
he's
boy.
walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Abner's down a few men.
It's not going to continue either, looks like. Wow.
I wonder if he'll give a commentary of what happened, or
maybe if he comes in here, he probably went to the bathroom. Who knows? Looks like obviously Tim is well on his way. Don Hays, I think, is on about the 11th or 12th key. I've been kind of watching him. He just recently hit the 9th key. So he's on his way.
Yeah.
And of course, Abner is, I don't know what level he's on, but he's probably a little more than halfway to the kill screen.
He's shaking his
on
head.
His score.
He was shaking his head. He wasn't doing as well as he wanted.
Well, Abner's lost a couple of lives, it looks like.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful.
Yeah. It's tough concentrating on those things.
Oh man, I can't even imagine playing it that long, especially Mizpac. Yeah, I think they're talking in the chat. I'm not sure, but I think Don Hays is on a perfect track. I'm not aware of him missing any ghosts yet.
Yeah, he really keeps his cool.
What happened, Dwayne?
Take that.
I died.
Here, take this water. Take this. Yeah, there you go.
Help yourself.
I can take a little break. Leave that. Right.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a long night. Which made us be longer. Dwayne starts over again. Okay. Yep. Let's try to catch up on what's. Of course, Tim's turned his game over once. So.
Right. God, Dwayne's starting over? Oh my God. He's gonna be here all night.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Abner's created some unintentional tension. I mean, there's a drama. We're kind of, he's done so well so far. We don't want to see him lose the game. At least let him finish. Where it's. Does anyone have the current Miss Pac-Man? Know what it is? The record.
I don't know offhand, but it's something like 1 million. Something either a little bit less or a little bit more than 1 million, I think. And of course that, there's some randomness there.
Right, with the fruits.
Yeah.
If someone's been watching just Abner and well, he didn't like that one. Well, the worst thing that could happen is if he's on pace for the world record and dies out. I don't think. Well, except for the record holder, But then again, that could push the record holder to, do better. So.
Looking at the chat there, they're guessing at the world record for Ms. Pac.
Yeah.
Someone's saying it's 944,000.
Yeah. Well, I give Dwayne credit. He's not giving up. He's having a rough time.
Oh, he's back on the cherry, trying to go for perfect.
Yeah, to have the focus to group the monsters, and after having, a rough night so far is, yeah. Maybe you should just go for speed. No, dude.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, I think you should just go for speed. I mean, if the focus isn't there to group everything, go for speed.
Dwayne's killing himself off again.
Oh, I have to. It first died on the first board.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can actually see the room that they're playing and just barely. Haven't heard any expletives flying out of there, but probably out of courtesy to the other players. But if I were Dwayne, I would be on the brink.
Oh, wow.
Catch up. Is it correct that Abner wasn't originally going to play Ms. Pac-Man? He was going to play Pac-Man along with everyone else, and he made the last, pretty much the last-second decision to go with Ms. Pac-Man. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It spices things up here. Really creates some. Yeah. Tim and Dawn are still on their first life, I believe. So.
Yep. Yeah, they haven't died yet. And I think Tim's on a perfect track. I mean, excuse me, Dawn.
Oh, Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, Tim is not. Oh, Dwayne died again.
Yeah, he wanted to get that 1600, and it was high risk.
Yeah.
I give him credit. He wants the perfect game. He's going for it anyway.
Yeah.
This shows even the greatest players have rough days. You know.
Someone's asking me on the chat, sir, can you please look at Intrepid and what makes the clouds come out? I don't even know. What is Intrepid? Is that a game?
Play that game. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
All right, Bara NZ, if you email me that question and more information about exactly what you're looking for, I might be able to find the time to look at it. Again, my website is donhodges.com, and on there you can find my email address, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm Donald B, as in boy, Hodges. Never even heard of Intrepid. Well, Dwayne's starting again.
Right.
Yeah, Iggy up there on the chat is saying that I'm going to get a lot of email tonight.
Yeah, maybe you will.
Actually, I can check my email on my phone here. I wonder if anything's come through. Yet.
Somebody should Google Intrepid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking at my email. I see a question that's come in from someone named John Lindy. It says he owns a Super Pac-Man, and the difficulty changes based on how well you do on early levels. So he goes on to say that the difficulty kind of varies based on how well you do. It says, during the first intermission, the spacing on the ghost seems to be a tip-off on the upcoming difficulty. Either the middle ghosts will be touching, all four spaced equally, or the two right ghosts are touching. And on board 5, I clear the keys in the southwest part, go in the middle, and start on the southwest corner. Pinky comes down and forces me to eat the power pellet. I eat him and go north, and blah, blah, blah. A lot of details here. It's a long email. I'll have to read that later when I have time.
But have you heard of that before, where they compare how well a gamer's doing compared to how hard they're going to come after you?
No.
I have not either. It's like them saying, "Oh, I'll give you a break since you aren't as good," or you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking, there is a game I've heard of that does that. What game was that I heard about? I think it's Robotron. In Robotron, if you do very poorly, it doesn't get hard as quickly as it normally would, I think.
So it ramps up according to how good you are?
Well, not exactly. I think it's just like an easy mode at the beginning of the game. And if you die early, it doesn't get harder until you... I don't know exactly. That's what I remember reading about. And of course, Robotron is another one of these games that I've looked at extensively. Not as much as some of the other ones, but there's a bug in Robotron that resets the game.
The corner bug?
Yeah, there's a corner bug, and there's another one where if you shoot an enforcer at an angle, there's a chance it'll reset the game. And at one point I looked into it and I figured out a lot about it. I never did figure out exactly why it happens. Just that it happened. I mean, I did kind of find out why, because there's some sort of a bug, obviously, in the code. But the more interesting story, in my opinion, is that the bug itself was known about back in the day. And some other gentleman from some, I think, European country, I believe, actually did the kind of thing that I've been doing lately, and he dug into the code, and he found out where the bug it was. And that's amazing to me, even, because he didn't have MAME at his disposal with the debugger, which makes things so much easier. He was doing all this by hand. And it must have taken him months to figure out how this bug, where this bug was. And anyway, he wrote a fix or something, and he actually went and met with Eugene Jarvis and Larry DeMar over at the headquarters of VidKids or whatever,
Yeah.
and met with them and presented them with the information, and they actually made a revision which has that bug fixed in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that?
But it was too late. It was too late in the game for them to go out and replace all the machines that existed out there. So it never really, as far as I know, it never really hit. But they did do that, and this
So
guy.
it was for sale for a while. The
I don't know the
Yeah.
details on
Yeah.
it, if they ever. But what the thing is that they included that revision in one of the emulations that came out. The Williams Arcade emulation pack. This is like a little bit before MAME in the early 90s, and that edition that came out in emulation had the revision in it. But at the same time, I remember reading them talking about Robotron and how, if you're doing poorly, it doesn't get hard, or it gets easier or something if you die a lot early, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Robotron is one of the crazy. One of the scores there is maybe it takes 10 or 12 hours, and so they're like, "How did you get around the corner bug that ends the game?" So a lot of people think that score is fake.
Yeah, I know there's a
can't.
lot of speculation about those Robotron scores and
Right.
stuff, and I really can't comment on that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a way to play the game. I mean, you can play the game very safely and make sure you don't shoot the enforcers diagonally. And maybe you could do that. There was also a shot in the corner bug, which I think they fixed early on. Because that was fairly obvious. Where like, I forget what the enemies are called, but I think they're circles and they tend to go into the corners. And if you shot one in there, there was a small but significant chance the game would reset. I think they discovered that and fixed that relatively early on. But the other bug was still there.
I'm thinking Missile Command didn't have a bug of some sort.
I don't know about Missile Command. I remember there was a documentary about the world record holder on Missile Command, and the game was resetting on him.
It was.
I don't think that was a software problem. I think it was a hardware problem. Where the game would reset. The Missile Command has a bug similar to like the Defender and some of the other games where you get in the Goldilocks zone, where you get a certain score and you get a whole bunch of extra lives or bonus cities at some point. But I don't think there's any reset bug or kill string in Missile Command.
I think if you get too many cities or something, it'll reset or something. But
Well, I think if you get too many, it'll roll. It's a counter. It'll roll over to 0.
Yeah.
If you get too many cities, it'll go to none.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
I think Robotron's the same. You can earn too many extra lives.
So you had to kill
and
them off.
It'll
just to
roll
keep
over.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about the new arcades that are popping up every now and then?
I think it's great. I went to one many years ago down in LA that I found out about and played some games, played some Donkey Kong. I think I had my best ever Donkey Kong game at that arcade. I got about, 300,000 points. This was my best ever in an arcade machine. Maybe level 9 or so. But yeah, that's cool. Obviously it's a very different world now than what it was back when we were youngsters playing these games. When I was playing these games, there were never enough quarters.
Right.
But now it's like everybody's got these in their living rooms. Not these games specifically, but the PlayStations and the Xboxes and those types of things. And it's a very different scene now, obviously. So to bring these old games back into the bars and stuff, it's great.
So G-Strain is asking who we are. Who are these three guys?
Oh, Paul Dean, Don Hodges, and not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's me.
Might be Jack Gale.
Yeah, Jack Gale. Some of my record scores were Tapper, Karate Champ. Let's see, Zookeeper, Mad Crasher, Hogan's Alley, Enduro Racer. Missing some, but.
Or did any hold today, or?
Yeah. Enduro Racer, Hogan's Alley, and Mad Crasher still stand today.
Oh.
All from the 80s.
So Mad Crasher is a number one scorer, or is that?
Yeah, Mad Crasher is a number one. That's an obscure game. So in all fairness, not a lot of people have access probably to it, but the other two are, I guess a little more popular. But it's just someone will beat them eventually. I would think.
Did you do that at a Guinness Book contest? The Mad Crasher score?
Yeah, the Mad Crasher was it was one of the video game master tournaments in June. I think it was June of '86.
86.
Yeah, and at a Bally's, it was the Bally's Aladdin's Castle in North Miami Beach at the 136th Street Mall, which of course that Arcades is long gone. But
you know whose score you beat? Who had the original?
It was a very low score because apparently the previous year. I don't know if a lot of arcades had the game or something. Well, it wasn't terribly low. It just wasn't where you would think it would be. So I beat it by pretty substantially.
Mm-hmm.
I beat it. It was actually my personal best. The score. I got 2.7 million.
That's a lot of points.
On well, which one am I? I'm sorry. I'm thinking about
Mad Crasher. We're talking about.
I'm sorry. Mad Crasher. Yeah, 2.7 million was Hogan's Alley. Mad Crasher was 844.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 844. That Mad Crasher was in the 85 Coronation Day tournament in Captain Video. That's where it's best known.
Is that where the score was established?
Yeah, back then the game had just come out, so nobody really got anything spectacular. And I wasn't really planning on playing it, but somebody, the arcade got the game maybe 2-3 months before the competition, so I figured what the heck, and I'd play it.
On the Coronation Day tournament, do you remember who won that? You remember how?
Oh yeah, it was Phil Britt.
Phil Britt.
Phil Britt of Riverside, California, where Paul's from.
I'm from, yeah.
Yeah.
And then number 2, do you remember number 2?
Mike Sullivan was number 2.
And 3.
Jeff Peters squeaked into third place in the last second, passing Don Nauert. I finished after Don. I finished 5th. Yeah, Don had never played Cheyenne before, and he got 80 million in the tournament. He was a great Cheyenne player.
Right.
So.
Same controls.
Yeah, similar, but still to get that score on that was not an easy game. Some of those boards were very impressive score by Don. He ended up getting the world record, I believe, 6 months later in the Masters tournament. He got over 300 million on Cheyenne.
Some of those scores probably still stand from his.
Yeah,
early days.
that score may still stand. That's tough. That's not. Yeah, so, and I know some guys are no longer into games, but.
Right, Phil Britt is out.
Yeah, and Phil Britt was a phenomenal track and field player.
Did he go to Japan? I think he went to Japan.
Yeah, that's right. And I believe it was an '83 tournament, USA versus Japan.
Yeah.
He went to Japan. I actually asked him about that tournament.
Yeah.
When I met him in '85, January of '85, I asked him about that tournament in Japan because I was into track and field.
Right.
I was very good at track and field, but not championship level. I couldn't scratch. I couldn't. The 100-meter dash is what got me. I couldn't get enough points. I wasn't fast enough. But I think my fastest was about 779.
Yeah.
And Phil was scratching 732s. For most people probably know, but for those who don't know, scratching just means manipulating the buttons with your fingers.
Like 3 at a time, or
yeah, 3. Yeah, it depends. Well, Hector Rodriguez a
Yeah.
fly. He scratches the buttons, but he only uses one button. I've been over to his place and watched his strategy. He actually reverses his fingers, and I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on one button, and he's the current world record holder. He beat Kelly Kabashagawa, who was friends with Phil and was also a phenomenal player. But Phil was a great. Oh, and Phil had the paperboy world record.
That's right. It still does. The
It
Grand Slam.
still stands. Yeah. Yeah. So he's a great player. He went on to other things, and
I think he's a programmer someplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if he was doing games programming for a long time, he might still be in it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Very, very talented player. Very, very supremely talented player. So.
Did you ever see Mike Sullivan play?
Just in that tournament.
Okay.
Just in that tournament. Yeah.
How about Mike Quarles? Did you ever meet Mike Quarles? He was there, but I don't know if he's playing or not.
Yeah, I think he was he? Did he play? Not.
It's a trackball game.
I'm trying to think of Crystal Castles.
Yes.
Crystal Castles.
Yeah, I think he had the world record for a year or so.
Or were he and Mark Alpiger going back and forth?
I don't know. There's Frank Say as well.
Frank Say
has
on
the
Crystal
world record.
Castles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. A very difficult game, Crystal Castles.
So that's a game where it ends. So you get a maximum score and that's it.
Right. Yeah, I was pretty decent at that game, but I couldn't touch those guys. I mean, there's some games you just take off on and you can go for the record. Others you can do well at, but it's just not going to happen.
What do you think about these Donkey Kong competitions? There's one coming up.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Replay FX?
Renewed interest, I think.
It's called Replay FX is the new Donkey Kong 4 location.
Oh, okay.
It's like in 2 weeks.
Right. It's the end of the month, beginning it's 31st and 1st.
I know it's coming up. I'm not sure the exact date.
Is that in Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh or is?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact place, but yeah, you're right.
Okay. Yeah.
Out that way, East Coast, I think.
Right. Yeah. The renewed interest is great.
$2,000 grand prize, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I wish they had those back in the day. Yeah. Well, they have them now, so I guess there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to start playing Donkey Kong some more.
Yeah.
$2,000 to pay for the trip.
It would.
Plus a little more.
It would.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who do you think is going to win the Kong off?
I guess it depends who's going to be there. I mean, the top players.
Yeah.
I know that if Dean Saglio's there, he'd be my favorite.
Yeah.
But there's some others who are close. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe, do you think they have a chance?
If they've been practicing,
they
have the talent.
Yeah.
They definitely have the talent.
Yeah.
But just to be at the level of being able to hit $1.2 million, you have to. You can't just not play for 6 months, 9 months, and then get back into it at the last second. It's probably this score is starting to get maxed out a bit.
Yep. There's the ceiling's only so high.
Yeah, it's a good thing though. I mean, makes
and a lot of it's random. The barrels. So you don't know
how
hard your game's going to be when you start out. It could turn out anyway.
That's true. It seems like the top players are able to take more risks without actually being in as much danger.
Yeah, they're able to control the barrels by where they're standing, which way they're looking.
Yeah, they have good vision. They know how to get out of trouble. So, you have to be really sharp. I think Wiebe played at the Mall of Americas.
He did. Did you ever? I don't know if he kill-screened it or not.
I saw his first board. I believe he got 7,000 something. So it looked like he wanted to get to the kill screen for the audience that was there because that would be exciting for them.
That's what they're looking for.
Right.
No one's seen one, so they want to see it.
Right, as opposed to going for a world record, which would have been so high risk.
Yeah.
Almost, it would be unlikely they would see a kill screen. So
Very
it was unselfish of him to do that.
Right.
Some people may have argued he was playing it safe, but I think he was just being unselfish and wanted to show the crowd a kill screen. And I don't know if he did.
I don't either.
But Yeah, the 7,000 on the first board kind of, I figured he wasn't, but it would be so high risk to go for that world record.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know, but yeah, there were a lot of people watching, so it looked like they were involved.
So what do you think about the new Pixels movie? They say that it has a lot to do with the Kong off, the movie King of Kong.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet. It came out yesterday, right? And of course, yesterday we were at the 2084 arcades, and day, so it really hasn't been a chance to see it. I want to try to catch it tomorrow.
Right.
Critics, it seems like the fans are giving it. Last I checked, Rotten Tomatoes had it down around 20%, but the fans had it around 60%.
Yeah, so critics don't agree as much with the fans.
Right. I think if you have a background in games or gaming, you'll take a lot more, probably get a lot more out of it. A lot of stuff probably, between the lines. A lot of people aren't going to get the kind of inside joke about the Billy Mitchell character.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they saw the previous movie, maybe.
Yeah. So, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. But I have a vested interest in it. I probably enjoy it more than average critic.
Right.
But it's nice to see, though, that there's a major motion picture which was budgeted by a major studio. That's basically about with the classic arcade games
and
theme.
The competition
and the competitions. I mean, that's boy, I'll tell you, I think King of Kong started it off.
Did.
Yeah. It wouldn't be possible.
You wouldn't have had the Kong offs without the King of Kong.
Right.
No.
Right.
Steve Wiebe is a newcomer. He wasn't from the 80s scene.
Right.
He wasn't one of the Guinness players.
Right.
He was unemployed one day and started playing the game.
Yeah, he had it in his garage or something, and then he submitted scores and they weren't accepted. It actually was for different reasons than me back in the day, where you'd send lots of scores. This is the early 80s, when things were a little, and things didn't get, they never got made it all the way through, and you just keep playing. Who cares? Eventually you're going to get some, which is what I did. I just kept playing until the score finally got recognized, and then, but Steve, he had a legitimate complaint, like, hey, what's up? And I guess was it Seth Gordon, the director? I can't remember the director of. Did he write it too?
He's the writer, the director, and then he's the executive producer of the Pixels movie.
Okay, yeah.
There's a tie-in.
Yeah, because King of Kong.
I understand Steve Wiebe does a walk-on on the Pixels movie.
Yeah.
A little walk-in.
Yeah, because my brother Richard Gale is a filmmaker and successful, and a lot goes into making a film, and you can put a ton into it, and it could still be crap.
Yeah.
So, and King of Kong is just you can't do much better than that.
Right.
For what he was trying to accomplish, you can't do much better than that. It's just people who not into video games at all love it.
And it's a documentary. It's different than it's supposed to be non-fiction, right? Documentary.
Right.
So.
Right, but he still has the conflict in there, the good versus the evil.
Yeah.
And it works. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really you have to have that so-called good guy and the bad guy who is just as bad as the good guy is good, or you don't have conflict and you don't have an interesting story. So, for people who think that Billy Mitchell is really that bad, he's not. He's just for purposes of creating an interesting story. Sometimes you have to, make it more interesting. But Billy is a practical joker. He is mischievous. From when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
I could tell you he does have that personality. He's an extremely funny person.
Yeah.
He came across as arrogant in the movies a little bit and stuff, and some of that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
He's just a practical joker and a wise guy.
Well, don't you think
very funny.
I think sometimes he puts it out there just to get a shock response from people.
Oh yeah. He's a nice guy.
Right.
He's a good guy. He's done lots of things for charity. He cares about people. He's a good person. But if you're going to have an interesting film, you got to have the good guy and you got to have the bad guy.
You do.
And he plays the bad guy really well. And he enjoys it. Oh, believe me, he enjoys it. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a lot of publicity. From
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and he's earned it. He's earned it. Yeah. Yeah, and not to mention that he's a slightly talented gamer.
Yeah.
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 Just slightly, right?
Yeah.
Slightly talented
Man.
gamer.
No. Yeah. He played.
He had like 6 world records at one time in the 80s, right?
Yeah. The Pac-Man. I think Junior Donkey Kong was it Donkey Kong Junior Burger Time, Ms. Pac-Man. And then Chris Ira would have Ms. Pac-Man, and then Billy would have Ms. Pac-Man, and they alternated. And there's more. Centipede. He's a great Centipede player. Extremely talented. Billy Mitchell, Chris Ira, extremely talented players.
Chris Ira, you don't see him too often going to the festivals or the shows. You know,
No,
he's
no.
a hard one to track down.
Yeah, he's only been to Iowa once, and that was in, I believe it was '83. Which I wasn't there that year, but I hear it was frigid, and everyone was kind of sharing a room to save money, and the shower was cold, and and it was only a trickle of water was coming out, and it was just, but that's how it was back in the day.
So you were in the original Twin Galaxies Arcade back in.
No, I wasn't. I went to the Coronation Day tournament. It was between two Iowa tournaments. It was in LA. So I think it went Iowa, or Tama, LA, and then I may be wrong with these. But I didn't. I was going to go to Iowa. It's just I didn't really have money. So it wasn't easy for me to go to LA.
Yeah.
So
how did you originally hear about Twin Galaxies?
Oh, magazine.
Yeah.
Magazine. Of course, we didn't have internet back then. So through magazines, and I submitted lots of scores to Twin Galaxies through magazines. I'd get the game's manager to referee a game and sign off on it. And none of those scores ever got published.
Wonder why.
But you know what? I mean, if you like playing games, you're just going to keep playing anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So it is what it is. You don't worry about
Don
that
Hays
stuff.
is about to roll $1 million here.
Oh wow, it's coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Don. So we have Tim at 1.7. Yeah. Dwayne. Oh, Dwayne's still going. Nice.
Dwayne's going for perfect, I think.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to watch him. I think he's perfect so far, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And Abner's still on his third life, and he's got a pair, which is nice.
2,000 points, right?
Yeah.
You love those pairs. Love bananas even better.
Yeah.
Don just rolled.
Don just rolled. 996. Yeah. Hey, Jace, you're back.
Hey,
How's
Jace.
it going?
Hey.
It's going good.
I'm off camera, but
Hey,
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, why don't you take? I'll have a bite to eat.
oh, you haven't eaten yet?
No.
There's a vegetable type one and then a meat one.
And there's cheese one, too.
All right. I've been watching the stream.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's interesting. Like I've noticed, it looks like Dwayne's reset a couple times.
Yep.
He has.
Is that because he's going for a perfect Pac-Man?
I think so.
Yeah,
he
he
died.
is.
He died, and he said, "I'm going to reset."
Yeah, he started over twice, I think.
So
At
okay,
least.
all right. So Dwayne is dedicated to trying to get this perfect Pac-Man,
That's what I believe. That's what he's shooting for.
and with the extra 5,000 points that you can pick up on this version. So
Interesting.
that's got to be frustrating, man.
Yeah, he's-
going for a perfect Pac-Man is no joke.
Right.
Because now he's sitting there grouping the.
Yeah, he's trying to get them all
ghosts.
together. So you want to get the maximum.
Yeah, there's a whole science to this.
See, now they're grouped pretty nicely. That's a tight group, right?
Yeah, you got to keep the group together.
Some guys talking about you in the chat, Jace.
Duke Nukem. Yes, he's definitely here. He shows up.
He does.
And he brings his flavor to the broadcast.
His flavor.
So looks like Dwayne pulled it off the 4. Okay, a little bit of tunnels. He's trying to goad them all in. Let's see if he's able to do it. I am Razilla says, I will say I didn't think this was a perfect Pac-Man. Well, okay, here's the thing. They're going for an array of things. So one of the things that can be picked up, I mean, the idea here is to go past level 256. Donald Hayes, what did he do? Does he start over?
No.
No, he's moved.
He rolled.
He rolled it.
Yeah, he rolled it recently.
Yeah, he just rolled it.
Don Hayes,
I think Don's on a perfect track.
is he doing perfect too?
I think so.
Him and Tim.
Tim's
No, Tim's not on perfect.
He's not.
No.
But he's got
Tim's
five-
on the speed track.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Tim. So Tim's going for what, the fastest,
Yeah.
or just to get to the kill screen,
He's just going fast. He wasn't going for ghosts.
and moving
early
past
on.
it.
He ate what he could, but he was going for speed.
All right, so I'm gonna move. Let's move across the thing. So Dwayne is focused on getting the perfect. He's working on grouping the ghost monsters, which those of you who don't know is an art unto itself that requires patience. That's one of the things that makes David Race's record so impressive at 3 hours and something minutes.
Yeah.
Is because he did a perfect Pac-Man, and what the hard part is dealing with specifically what Dwayne is trying to deal with is to get those ghost monsters all grouped together so you can eat them all.
Well, I think David Race used patterns. He must have. He must have used patterns for all the early boards.
That's well.
There's no other way to get a fastest record that quickly except to use patterns.
Is there a video of it? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, not that I know.
That's too bad. So all right, so Dwayne's focused on that, and he's reset a few times. Oh, Shiza Manelli, that sucks, dude. Is he gonna just start over?
We'll see.
Is he just gonna?
I don't think he's going to reset.
You think he's just gonna keep pressing on?
I think so because
he said he was gonna spend a couple hours trying to get the perfect, and then if he didn't, he would press on.
Yeah.
To just get to the kill screen.
Right.
And he feels very confident that he'll get to the kill screen.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so let's move over to the right part of the screen with Don Hayes. G-Strain, with this new track, perfect doesn't matter, right? I thought this was. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the broadcast, but what Dwayne was talking about wanting to achieve was a perfect on this version of Pac-Man, which will, because of the different kill screen, allows you to get a few more points and actually get a higher score than the original 1980s perfect Pac-Man. And so that was what he wanted to put together. I don't think that there's actually a track created on Twin Galaxies for that specifically. So if that got achieved, he would need to, or the community would need to, sponsor in that track so that he could then submit the performance against it. But regardless, that was one of the things that Dwayne wanted to pick up was, let's see if we can put a perfect Pac-Man on these anniversary machines and, get a higher score and just do it in a public live environment just for, the exhibition's sake of it. So that's what he was going to do. And he was going to do that for a couple hours. And if it wasn't happening, he was just going to press on to the kill screen. They set up the rules for the kill screen of being able to continue up to the kill screen, get through the kill screen, and then every time they continued, I think they were going to subtract a life or something like that, where they basically will have just, once they move past that, how far they can go with whatever they have left.
Mm.
And then that would be it for the, quote, marathon purposes. So Don Hayes, I'm told, is still maintaining his perfect.
As far as I can tell.
So he's already rolled past 1 million points. He's bringing his finesse to the dinner table. And but Look at that. Look
He
at him
gets
just,
really close, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just. There's no fear. He goes
kind of through the blue guy, right?
Wow.
No, there's no buoys there, but he's on a pattern. He's been using the same pattern since the 9th.
Yeah, that's a pattern.
Yeah, it's a pattern. For sure.
Now, is this a pattern that he made up? Or
You'd
is
have to
it
ask him.
something that he picked up somewhere else?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It's extremely familiar, at least the beginning of it is, to one that I used to use back in the day. So you'd
could
have
be
to
that
ask
part
him.
of it. Part of it is probably his own, and part of it maybe he saw someplace. I don't know.
It's possible. Not
Sasky VidKit says Don is only perfect. So let's see. At what point will Don be reaching the kill screen? That's a good question.
Well, Don's at just over 1 million right now, and the kill screen's at 3 million something, right?
Yeah. So
3.3
what?
million?
That would put him on board 75 or somewhere around that range. 78.
He's got a ways to go.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go. But he's on track.
Yeah, he is.
And if he goes straight through with a perfect game on this anniversary edition live, right from the get-go, I mean, think about that. That's him literally dropping a perfect game on the dime. Just no,
I'm gonna do it today. That's it. Yeah.
That's crazy. And then if he'll press on with the kill screen stuff, and then just see how far it goes. So we'll have a pretty unique.
Then it becomes a marathon at that point.
Yeah, then it becomes a marathon at that point. That's interesting. That's cool. It's definitely not easy to do, as Dwayne on the other side is trying to do the same thing.
Right.
Tim, it looks like he's on the mission to just see how far he's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that, last but absolutely not least, actually, contrary to even that statement, Abner is dealing with Miss Pac-Man. I don't know if you've ever tried to get 692,000 on Miss Pac-Man.
Good score.
But he's just still going. It's interesting to watch how he, controls these ghost monsters.
He definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, there's.
He's the best.
This is just. This
is the first time he's ever done a live performance, for people to view.
Yeah.
So.
This is like, but when you're watching him, it's just like. You've probably never seen anybody play Miss Pac-Man like this before.
No. Perfection.
Yeah. I mean, he's at the point where he's not getting any blue ghosts.
Nope.
It's just execution. I don't think he restarted. I think this is his first game, right?
It is, yeah.
He literally left the interview, went over to the Miss Pac-Man machine, started this game, and has been playing ever since.
Yeah.
But you were right. The scoring, the Pac-Man scoring, has gone higher than the Miss Pac-Man scoring.
A lot higher.
Because those keys.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the random fruit in there. Although I think, in the long run, you can expect to get so many bananas, so many pears,
I think it
etc.
averages out.
Yeah, they will average out, but only to a point. I mean, it's possible to get maybe a couple extra bananas, maybe. And that's why you're going to have some variations in the scores up to the kill screen. It's not always going to be the same. There's going to be a little bit of variation. Maybe one extra banana will do it for
if
you.
he kill screens Miss Pac-Man.
It's crazy.
Like,
he could. He's on track.
With his first game. He just...
Yeah.
For those of you who are just watching who aren't familiar with all this stuff, to just get in front of Miss Pac-Man on the drop of a dime and kill screen it, in front of everybody, the skill level being demonstrated here, he can't make a mistake, That's just crazy.
Abner's in a rhythm right now. It looks like.
Yeah, you could tell.
He knows exactly what he's doing. There's no chance to it.
Yeah, it's mesmerizing watching him play. What about P breaks? Nope. Well, in Pac-Man, you can take some P breaks because they can.
You can park.
Yeah.
But Abner isn't getting nothing.
No.
He's just got to sit there and get it done.
He's so low key too, you know.
He is.
Just about everything.
Yeah.
Sask Vid Kid was supposed to be here, but work got in the way.
Who's that?
I'm not sure.
Work got in the way.
But work got in the way. Abner is a stone cold killer.
Okay.
He's definitely handling Miss Pac-Man. There's nobody watching his game right now that can beat him at this game. So let's take a look back over at Tim. Is Tim running pure patterns at this point?
Yeah.
So he's just moving through it.
Yep.
I wonder who's further along, Don or Tim?
Tim is.
Oh, okay.
Tim's about to roll for the second time.
Oh yeah, you're right. So it's interesting, like how so Tim's just playing straight through, like
Yeah,
he's just championing it. But and Don is going for the perfect. So you're seeing, and they started at the same time. So you're seeing the time differential that starts to get involved when you're trying to perfect it. It looks like Tim is moving at probably 35 to 40% faster through the mazes than Don is, because Don's got to contend with grouping all of the ghost monsters.
Well, he
Takes
did
time.
early on, yeah. So he spent a lot more time on the early boards than Tim did.
But now you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, once you get to the ninth key, then it's all downhill. It's all patterns.
Look who decided to stop streaming and trying to steal viewers. I am Rizella is talking. Who's that? Who are you talking about? What's up, Mike Sroka? I thought it was great that you said that you had a poster of Jack that Walter gave you. He listed when Jack was talking. He's like, I got a poster of you.
Cool.
You need a poster of all these guys. Take screenshots. Because this is, I mean, having all four of these guys in the same spot, doing this is
rare.
It's a rare thing.
Pretty rare.
And, having the opportunity to spend some time with these guys, everybody's so nice. And, I just think that to be able to give them some spotlight to a whole new generation of gamers, this is great. I'm so glad that they were able to make it. I really hope that these guys are able to execute what they're doing here, because it'll be historic.
It will be. Yeah.
If Don Hays perfects this sucker right now, that's a tough one to beat. That's tough. First game, sit down, perfect it. And then he will get a high score than what you can get on the original.
Right. The way it's set up.
Yeah, the way. So that'll be its own category. But man, that Miss Pac-Man. I don't know if you've ever played Miss Pac-Man, but just trying to get like 200,000 points gets your heart pumping.
It does.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Don's pattern is faster than Tim. I never thought a Pac-Man event could be this good. Krispy Kreme. I am glad that you guys like it. Because, look, Pac-Man, obviously, because it's pattern running and there's a lot of repetition, and once you get through the first screens, there's not a whole lot to discuss because it's sort of going on and on. Yes, it's a harder type of thing to broadcast and maintain, but, when you have four of them going at the same time, I think it makes it a little more interesting, and especially at the level that they're playing at, you guys need to stay tuned in to see if they pull off some of this stuff, because I don't know who else could do it. If you really think about it, I'm willing to bet that here's what I'm hoping happens. I'm hoping Ambner KillScreen Miss Pac-Man, because he could just talk about that forever and ever. I want Don to get a perfect Pac-Man, and he's playing on the 20th anniversary edition. Okay, I want him to do that and sort of continue on in the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I want Tim to completely own the marathon aspect of it, right? Just get to the kill screen, move through it, and just keep on going and keep
And
on
how many
going.
hours is he gonna go?
And until everybody just drops, right?
Right.
I want Dwayne to get his perfect Pac-Man right in front of everybody. I know he's been working on it.
Or at least get to the kill screen, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Looks like he's continued on, right? So he's going for the kill screen, I guess, at this point. I think he may have stopped trying for the perfect on the. Dwayne is on the 25th anniversary edition.
So are they all on the 25th?
No, Don is on the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Abner is on the 25th. Dwayne is on the 25th. Tim is on the 20th.
Okay, so it's 2/20th and 2/25th.
Yes, yeah. But
because they play a little bit different is the reason.
No, we were able to determine that those they're all the same from a Pac-Man perspective.
Yeah.
But we were trying to get all 25ths because on the 20th you have to activate Pac-Man with a secret joystick maneuver,
up,
right?
down,
yeah.
above, yeah.
It would just be easier for broadcast to be able to just choose Pac-Man, but couldn't get them. It's hard to get. It's interesting. It was harder to get these machines. I mean, we had to build. I certainly couldn't find 4 standalone arcade machines anywhere near me that weren't like $1 billion.
Right.
So we decided to custom build the cabinets using the joystick specifications that Dwayne wanted, and so we put them in context. The cabinets were built by Gene Lewin.
I know him.
Yeah. Who owns Vintage Arcade Superstore.
Mm-hmm.
If you Google that, you'll see that they were built by a very competent guy who's been doing this for a long time. And one of the technological challenges we had was I didn't want to aim a camera at the screens, right? I wanted to get the feed from the machine so we could see it as purely as possible. But I wanted to do that without affecting the machine in any way.
Right, because a regular camera messes up the picture.
Yeah, like it's at an angle. The
speed is different, right?
The recording is like it's
not clean.
It's not clean, right?
Yeah, this is clean.
So we went through this whole process of trying to figure out, the boards. Thankfully, have a way to get the RGB off the board separately from what it's sending to the main arcade monitor. But then you need to convert that signal, and we have to convert the signal 3 times, once to VGA, once then to HDMI, and then to SDI.
Wow.
And so all through that process, and these machines...
That alone is amazing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
This is old technology.
Yeah, it is. And so you get in these weird things with voltage, and that's why every now and then you'll see the video display sort of jitter a little bit because of voltage changes in the sync sort of. But we're only seeing that because there's a separate board dealing with this. It's not. They're not seeing any shaking or shimming on their screen. Everything's solid for them. So yeah, and then here, this is even more. So we get the video feed out, but you got to remember that we're getting a 16:9 video feed that is 90 degrees sideways, right? Because the Pac-Man's screen is a long way television.
Right, this way.
So then we're like, oh my God, we got these 4 feeds. We have to rotate them all so that we can see them in the correct
fashion.
Yeah.
Yes, we can understand it.
And so the screen that you're looking at is a composition of, well, let's see, there's a GoPro for every one of their faces. So that's 4 video feeds. Then there's 4 video feeds for the game. And then there's a video feed of us in the dead center. So what is that, 9? There's 9 video feeds you're seeing, and then on top of that we have to do an overlay, and then we wanted to create that fancy transition.
Yeah, the Pac-Man.
Yeah. So why don't you do the fancy transition, and let's see those guys at the arcade machine. And we'll keep talking. Yeah, see that? Pac-Man just ate us up, and now you can see the guys.
Right.
They're actually on the machine, and we had them build the Twin Galaxies machine, and
Tim just rolled 2 million.
Did Tim just roll 2 million?
Yeah, a minute ago.
Wow, 2 million.
2 million.
He's got one more to go. right?
The list of
Yeah,
people.
2 and something.
The list of people who have gotten that score just narrowed.
Yep.
Right? It just keeps moving away. And so, you see that? Yeah, Iceman. The Pac-Man. Oh, hey, go back. Can you put it back to the arcade guys? Because we'll keep talking. Look at that, Pac-Man. Just ate us up. And then we transit. Did you see that, Jen? Yeah, it's cool. The little Pac-Man-y doing Pac-Man-y things.
It's like Tim's taking a break.
Look, we can sneak a peek at Neostorm, who's playing Zookeeper. Can you do you have the button to jump over to the other camera? It's a button press, or is it a Pac-Man press? I can't. It could be both.
I think Tim's taking a restroom break.
Oh, Tim has parked.
That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, look at that. There's Neo trying to sneak in a Zookeeper game, trying to beat my 15 million I put up. Yep, that's right. Not working, just playing games. That's all we do here at Twin Galaxies is
so easy.
Just play games and not work.